You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast. I'm unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Here on a drizzly wet Monday. Down on confidence, down on like full spirit, but maybe like the soul a little bit sort of.
You're not down on desire, are you, mate?
Never am. That's not entirely true, but not today. I think desire's there.
The desire to be great's there.
Yeah, the desire to be great's there, but greatness maybe not. The desire to be great,
Yeah.
but greatness.
You're eyeballing greatness, but it may elude you.
Certainly today. What about yourself? You've rolled in. Well, my voice is all over the shop, dude. Fuck me dead.
It depends. It really does depend, Thomas, in truth, in what sort of Sunday I'm delivered. If I'm delivered a Sunday that I can, marinate in, bathe in, and unwind in, truly, then it sets me up nicely for Monday. Not nicely, but it sets me up for something.
Gives you a chance.
Gives me a chance. Gives me a scrapper's. What's that?
Puncher's chance?
Puncher's chance. It gives me a puncher's chance. And without it, punters and dribblers, I'm all at sea. Now, I have been delivered that, which is good.
Oh, so you did get a Sunday that...
I got a Sunday that meant something. Saturday, Tom and I went for lunch. Bit of a groomsman's thing. Lot of fun.
Lots of fun.
Many giggles were had, many laughs were shared.
Yep.
Bit of a rip, bit of a tear.
The time got away from me on that. Like...
You know what? It does, and then... there's always a point in the night where you go, bro, it's only fucking 7 o'clock, bro. Frothing.
But I had that at like 10:55. I remember going, oh, fuck, dude, it's only 10. Like a couple of people had already bailed, and I'm like, it's 10:55. What the fuck? We're good to go. Then it was 4. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is later than I was intending. I was always planning on like a 2:33 out the door, get a relatively good sleep.
Yep.
Thank the heavens that the Lord gifted me a wife who was like, you know what? I'm going to go stay at my mum's.
I'm going to play eyes up.
I'm going to play eyes up. You're no good to me tomorrow, at least for a certain period. Plus, you're going to come home with a bit of a sting on you. I'm going to go stay at my mum's with the girls, and then I'm going to come back around midday. Give you a chance to sort of, So thank the Lord that I was gifted such a phenomenal bride.
What a wife.
What a woman. But I did end up fucking myself a little bit by getting home at 4. And maybe later, but I'm going to say 4.
Look, there was some questionable decisions made by all of us late in the piece. Don't need to stay up till 5:30. Probably not.
Okay. So I let you were going for a lot longer than.
Oh yeah, just a couple of old mates catching up.
Yeah,
You,
Kern and Notch.
Nah, Hayne pulled the pin about 3 when you left. Yeah. When you left, he pulled it. It was me and the Notcher.
Just putting in work. Just a couple of old work friends, just a couple of old work mates.
Just a couple of old friends putting in work. But, you can justify it by saying it was a special day.
It was a special day. It was an important day.
And it was a special day. Got back. Ella had some friends over. Sort of like got a bit messy there at one stage. Fucking door ripped off its hinges and shit. Right. You know what I mean? It wasn't me.
I made a point of walking into the room because I came up to take a piss, and this door, which is like not a bifold, like
the ones that fold in on each other,
but like
then they slide.
It's a door, and then it slides up like
this,
folded, like an origami door, and then it opens out, and I got up there, and it was like completely fucked, and I was like, how did either this is a craftsmanship error, which it could be. Or this is just someone's didn't understand how the door worked.
I'm telling you right now, someone didn't understand how the door worked. Yeah. Now, I don't want to blame Jack Archdale.
I was already going to say it.
I don't want to blame Jack Archdale, but he had form on the night.
He seemed like he was in a mood where he would break something before he was to stop and assess just the mechanics of it. Not through like a aggressive, I'm being violent.
No.
Just more like, I don't have time to sit here and just evaluate the mechanics of the door.
No, not with like 3 double shot Jamisons, on the way into lunch. Probably set the tone for Jack.
Well, it is.
And he wasn't being aggressive. No, I'm not saying that at all.
But
he may well have been sloppy, perhaps too sloppy to have understood the mechanics of the door. That's all I'm saying.
Just a a lack of willingness to understand. You know, he was like,
well, he played a red wine shocker as well.
He also spilled some red wine onto the white couch.
Yep.
And just left it.
Yep. And the floor.
Again,
this isn't like going on Jack Edward Arsenal.
No, he's one of the great Australians of all time.
I'm merely pointing out simple facts.
Yeah, that is what happened.
And you could argue that there's no facts tied to the door, but...
We don't know about the door.
It's an educated guess.
Yeah, it's based on the wine and the willingness
put it this way,
to just
girl,
leave the
I don't
wine.
think a girl would do it. Show a bit of strength to fucking rip the door off.
No.
Then I'd start looking around.
And I couldn't have been... Now, listen, you could argue that I almost incriminated myself.
I don't think Parso Nolly had it in him.
No.
Parso's a soft soul.
Parso was gone almost before the door was broken.
Yeah, I think he might have been.
Shout out to Parso. Me and him tried to buy tickets to a Jordan Peterson speech.
Oh, my God. That's dribbly.
That's dribbly as fuck. Didn't happen, though.
That's so dribbly.
So dribbly, hey.
Oh, my God.
But I think I incriminated myself.
You did?
By going, because as soon as I saw it was broken, I just went, listen, I need these two to know that I had nothing. I hadn't even been to the bathroom yet. So I was like, oi, Ella, your fucking door's fucked. Just come and have a look at it and see it. And she's like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, yep. Firstly, I'm sorry for your troubles here with the door. That is going to obviously consume a little bit of your Sunday or just at least this week.
Certainly not Sunday.
I'd assume not. But I want you to know it was not me.
Mate, I'm going to have to get the drill out. Get real handy with that shit.
Yeah, you could fix it yourself.
Fucking oath, you can fix. I've given it the eye test, punters and drillers, and it's passed. I'm like, hinges still there, screws have come out. Fucking screw them back in.
Yep.
Piece of piss.
That's why I'm concerned about craftsmanship though, because why would the screws come out from a bit of like Jack Archdale roughhousery? Again, allegedly.
This is all alleged. But
Not the red wine. The red wine is not alleged. That was him. I saw it with my own eyes.
No, that was him. That's the fact.
Yeah.
And then you just draw on the dots then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he did it. I saw him
Just draw
do
the
it.
dots.
I saw him do it.
Draw the dots.
He was looking for something. He
3
did
double
it.
shot Jamisons on the way in.
But then he just...
Red wine
he
issue.
just, I noticed
Strong
it was
guy.
never addressed. And then when Elza noticed it, I was like, he really didn't do anything about that. He did it and then saw it and then left it. Wild behaviour. And I'm looking at you. I'm eyeballing you down the camera now, Josh.
Yep.
Wild behaviour.
Yep.
But...
Shout out to Steph, who's also in good form.
Yep, both of you. But, I mean, we don't know about the door.
No, we don't.
That's alleged. Maybe it was both of them on the door.
Could have been. Putting in work behind the door. Who knows?
Hey. That would explain...
On the door.
That would explain the screws coming out.
Fucking oth it would.
Because that's the
You
sort
got
of
a screw
effort...
to
No, that's the sort of effort that would dislodge a screw. Or, calling to question the craftsmanship of a...
Look, you could potentially call into question the craftsmanship, but I haven't seen any evidence to suggest that there was an existing craftsman-based issue.
No.
There may well have been one that I wasn't aware of, but I still think, at the end of the day, gun to my head,
Gun to my head?
I'm blaming Edward.
Yeah.
Jack Edward Archdale.
Jack Edward Archdale. That's a gun to the head, and that's
gun to a head. If there's no
allegation.
gun,
If
if there's
there's
no
no
gun,
gun-
there's doubt there.
yeah. If there's no,
But there's no room for doubt when there's a gun to your temple.
nah. So
Put it
you
that
got to
way.
call it as you see it.
Got to call it as it said. Players that lies.
Play like a vibe check thing, and I think Jart broke that fucking door and didn't tell anyone. Yeah, test
Yeah.
the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's Jack.
Jart broke that fucking.
That's
thing.
Jarch.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be having Jarch on the podcast this Thursday. Now I'm like, nothing to fix it all, buddy.
No, I think this is where because I mean, look,
This is where we confront him.
yeah, we confront him, dude. We confront him Thursday. With Lou, so he's got a new podcast coming out, which we're very excited about.
He does.
But main topic will be, did you break the fucking door?
Yeah. Putting it to him.
Yeah.
I can already see denial.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But I can read that cunt.
But I can also see ultimately an eventual admission, but it won't be like, it'd be like, oh, I didn't
Well, it won't
realise
be
I broke it,
forthcoming.
bro. I'd be like, oh, yeah, like it was, I remember it being a bit fucking shaky, but then like I didn't know that I broke it. Okay, bud.
He also strikes me as a guy that wouldn't like to be locked in a room. Like, fuck this.
Yeah. It'd get overwhelming
He
quickly.
had his boots on as well. His Cubans.
Which I don't know if he ever mentioned, but they matched his jacket and he was really proud of it.
Can I like, shockingly, he left the jacket behind. A man that wouldn't shut up about the jacket boot combo all day, for him to leave the jacket.
You know what he was wearing though when he left, and so this doesn't shock me as much. Bounced out trackies. So like,
where'd he get them from?
either you
Oh, he must have got them from
probably
me.
stole them from your cupboard. So this guy's coming to your house.
Oh my God.
He has.
I hadn't thought about that.
He's poured red wine on your couch and your floor, said nothing, broken your door allegedly, and then stolen your bounced out trackies allegedly. But I don't know where else he would have got them from.
Where else would he have got them from? Unless Steph bought him a little fucking overnight bag. Seems odd.
It does seem odd because he doesn't live that far away.
He wasn't staying overnight.
No,
Doesn't need to.
that's what I mean though,
It's
right?
10 minutes down the road.
It's around the corner. So this Jarch allegedly has had one of the great fucking
one of the great nights.
one of the great nights.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, but it was fun.
It was fun. I roused at like 10-ish. 10:30. You know when it was? I roused
You got up at 10:30.
10:30, yeah.
That's the beauty of having fucking no responsibilities. Like, and what I mean is, I slept longer than that, but to go till 5:30 and then be like, fuck it, I'll get up at 10:30. Like, I got to bed, say at 4. I'm not 100% sure, but for me, it was like, I will not get up until I absolutely have to, and that was like Steph going, I'll be home in X amount of time, and I'm like, fuck, all right, I better get up.
We got up at 10:30, and guess what opens at 10:30?
KFC.
KFC. KFC Darlinghurst, 10:30.
Could you?
They run a fucking sharp operation out of there.
Did you?
They'll tell you 35, 40 minutes. We'll be there in 20 every time. Every time. I was eating at 10 to 11.
Did you order
True
before
story.
you got out of bed?
Rolled over. What time's it? 10:31. Oh, beautiful.
So you ordered in bed though?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I got.
And then I went downstairs and I've had an internet-based issue.
I've heard about it.
You've heard about
Well, I
it.
was trying to fucking stream the Wallabies, I think.
This has been a back and forth situation with Dodo for fucking some time. 2 weeks. So first they sent me the modem and I'm like, I don't have an NBN box though. Like, where's the NBN? Someone's fucking nicked it when they left. Like, you're not supposed to take it with you. It's supposed to stay in the house anyway. People before us were going, fuck that, I'm nicking it. So then they had to send me another one. That took 2 weeks because they didn't know what I needed. I'm like, I need the NBN box. And one guy ended up selling me on electricity. Shout out to a great salesman, but that's a different story.
Yeah, it is.
Takes 2 weeks to get there. And then I have a back and forth for the ages on Friday trying to get this fucking thing set up. Still not working. I'm like, what is going on here?
You would think after all the years that internet's existed, right? And after all the years and all the they're like, this call's going to be recorded for quality assurance and training purposes. You're like, for all the fucking calls that these absolute dead shits have recorded, why is this thing not smoother?
Dude, the back and forth we had, and
It
she
is
was
never smooth.
It's never smooth. We had to log into the modem and enter we did 50 different username and password combinations. None of them worked. So I called up yesterday. I spoke to somebody. He's like, "Can I help you?" I go, "Put me on the phone to your supervisor." He's like, No, I can help. I go, No. I need someone higher up the pecking order here because you fuckers down the bottom don't know what you're doing, and I don't want to have to blanket the lot of you.
No,
but I now have to.
No, you do have to though.
Because there's fights on today,
Yeah.
and I've been shaped on my internet because I've used 100%. So I need solutions.
Yeah.
I need solutions. And he goes, righto. Supervisor comes on. I go, mate, this is the lay of the land. I go, I'm out of patience now. I'm usually a man chock-a-block full of
You
patience. I'm full of patience.
I'd be dead by this
You
stage.
don't know me, bro, but I'm usually full of it. I'm extinguished, done left. He
Much
goes,
like your
righto.
internet on your phone.
Let me walk you through it. And he goes, what username you got in there? And I read it out and he goes, one of the letters is wrong. I go, perfect. As in the chick had been telling me it was Dodo, but there was no Dodo, it was just Dodd.
Yep.
So she got confused by the place she worked at. And then the password, there was one letter wrong. And as soon as that happened, it started immediately. And I go, thank you, sir. So once that was rectified, KFC had arrived, fights were on, happy boy.
It's insane.
Happy boy.
It's insane how incompetent they are, though.
I won't get the 8 hours on Friday back, know that.
No, you won't. Those are gone. Gone.
Now, you might be like, Eddie, you obviously typed it in wrong. We did 50 different username and password combinations. Did I get them all wrong? I highly doubt it.
Yeah, odds would suggest no. Being the competent individual you are.
You also have to repeat. They have to repeat it on the phone, the password, to make sure you got it right. And even that was wrong.
They just couldn't get it right.
So they don't, capital L's, small L's, confused
Dude,
whoever was helping.
Like, but you think about people that are older, right? Like, it's already tough for us.
No, impossible. Can't be done.
My old man.
If you're 65, 70 and you're trying to
my
get
man's
internet,
a Luddite, right? Like, he's not technologically inclined. And he also doesn't have the patience of Eddie Simpson. And he almost starts angry because he knows what he's in for. He's like, this is going to be so fucking long. And it's not necessarily the best approach, but it's the only approach he has. And I throw to the sire in this instance, and I'm a little bit that way as well. I start with a modicum of angst, just, I'm already kind of pissed off that this is going to take so long, and I know it is, but I'm trying to stay calm, and it's like not your fault because you're just trying to do your job, but it kind of is your fault because you're not doing your job.
Do you know how there's this, everyone thinks to themselves, why does this always happen to me with technology? Like, why is it always me this happens to? Do you know why everyone says that? Because it happens to everyone.
No one has a smooth experience.
No one is immune from technological deficiency.
But why can't it be just easier? Like, I don't understand in this world of you can order fucking KFC from your bed and it's in your mouth within 15 minutes. Why? To fucking get your internet going, do you need to set aside a good 48 hours of literal back and forth?
Mate, even when we got the internet in here, A, you can't get NBN, and then B, when I go to Telstra to go try to get it set up, they go, sorry, mate, you haven't passed the credit check. I'm like, which spent me into a fucking spiral. I'm like, what's on my credit file? What the fuck? Checked it, impeccable. And then I went in there and they go, oh, sorry, like that's just like a bit of a technical fuck up. You got to call this number when that happens. I go,
why? What the fuck?
How was I to know that? How was I to know that? And my mate the other day went to get Telstra. He got denied on the spot as well. It's a thing.
So they just deny you first.
They just deny you first and don't tell you why, and they just send you home. And then you sit there and go, well, I'm out of options. I'm optional.
If I can't even get internet, imagine what it's like when I'm trying to get a house.
I was talking to the guy, I go, bro, this plan's like $60 a month. What are we... This isn't fucking burying me, for God's sake. Anyway, that's another example. It's never smooth.
No.
It's never smooth. It's never smooth. If there was a provider that got their shit together and called it like smooth internet, we promise you your
smooth as silk.
Your experience will be smooth. If not, year for free.
Yeah.
You'd get all the business. All of it.
If you can't set up your internet with one phone call, then you get a 20% discount for the life cycle of your time with us.
Yeah. Smooth by Ned. Internet.
Start it. I don't think you need that in your
I'm not
life.
going to start it.
No, don't.
I'm merely
pontificating about,
That's right.
if you could, what you would call it.
That's right.
Smooth internet.
Smooth internet. If it's not smooth, first you're free. Now that's a sell. That's a sell.
Oh, that's a fucking sell.
Now, after that, punters and dribblers, you might be thinking to yourself, it's a pretty good start, Edward. Sounds like a pretty good start. To which I would say, great start from me. Internet's working. KFC's arrived. Fights are on. Then, Volt gets one of the great W's all time.
Bro.
Cements himself as the greatest in the history of the division. A lot of
Arguably.
people start saying, well,
I think he's pretty. Oh no, he's
murdered
he's
that
better
cunt.
than Max.
He murdered the guy that was the best.
Well, I know, but there's also people who say Aldo potentially as well. But I'm not here to.
We're not here for that.
He was fucking beautiful to watch.
He was.
Like it was.
It was unfair. I'm like, look like
I couldn't believe how dominant.
he didn't get hit.
He was so quick, and when he started talking shit to him in the first round, I'm like, oh, bro, he's fucking on one right now. Like when you saw him rip apart Korean Zombie and he looked amazing, you're like, well, look, he's amazing, but it's Korean Zombie as well, no disrespect. But also it's Korean Zombie, right? Like fifth in the world, no one thought it was going any other way. He actually even said, I think, when he got bored in the fight, he was fucking so dominant.
He was asking him to pull. He's like, no,
do you want to do this, dude? Do you want to do this? Bang, 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 bang. Against Max, who, as arguably the greatest featherweight of all time, in their third fight, which Volk's won twice, and this was to sort of cement it and shut everyone the fuck up. You're like, oh my God.
He couldn't have shut people up more.
It's the best. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen from someone who doesn't know what they're looking at.
Well, from someone who has zero idea.
Yeah.
Me.
Vibe.
Fucking loved it. Are we covering off that now?
We may as well, dude.
Righto.
We're here. Or do you want to save it and we'll get into it in a moment?
Maybe we come back to it.
Okay, we can come back to it.
But there's a taster.
There's a taste.
There's a taste.
Yeah.
Nyum, 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 nyum.
Yuck.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yuck. That's it. That
Nom, nom, nom.
didn't feel nice.
Then I go, fuck, I really want to see Top Gun. I've heard it's amazing. Get online. Hoyt's Extreme Cinema. I'd never been to the Extreme Cinema.
Didn't know there was one.
But I heard that there was reclining seats in there because I'm usually a Lux guy because of the recline. But now apparently there's recline in all of them. So I don't know. You don't need to get the big bickies out.
Oh, really?
Dude, we get in there, bruh. His screen's fucking massive and we're reclining. I've got me big popcorn, my big Sprite. I like Sprite at the cinemas. I don't know why.
I'm controversially more pro Sprite than I am Coke.
But Sprite with popcorn, thanks for coming. Like, that's a combination, I think.
Okay.
Get in there reclining, and then, like, they just set the tone. You know those Dolby ads at the start? So, like...
The ones where it's like they're showing off their sound and
fuck
their
yeah,
quality
bro.
and shit.
Yeah. These almost blew my dick off.
Which is...
In cinema. Yeah. I'm like, oh, my God.
This thing's almost been completely blown off.
Fucking hanging on by the skin, bro. Like, it was unbelievable. Very concerning, but, you know, you knew what you... But worth it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, we're on here. And it was fabulous.
Good.
Fucking fabulous.
How long did you go for?
Not too long.
That's
2 hours.
Good. Yeah, right. So, like, you're not there by the end of it going, fuck.
It was fucking good.
Really?
Like, fucking good.
I fully intended on seeing it, like, multiple times and then just have not gone.
Tom Cruise he knows how to do a movie.
He's looking old.
He's looking old, but he's 60. So he doesn't look 60.
So he actually doesn't look old.
He doesn't look old at all.
Technically, he looks great.
You eyeball him, you go, you 40?
40. Not 40. That's, like, not much older than us. 40s.
That's true. He looks
50,
high 40s.
High 40s, early 50s.
Not 60.
Not 60.
No.
60.
There's like a shirtless scene as well, and you're like,
yeah, you're doing good. Six-packed? Or just
not like that sort of definition, but like
pecky and just
pecky
like
and fucking. He looks hard.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It makes perfect sense. Now, sure, bit of a kook. Can't deny that the man's a fucking movie star, though. Kooked as he is, movie star.
Well, I separate the man from the
art?
actor.
The art from the artist?
Yeah, the art from the artist. The artist, I think, fair to say, bit of Magoo in him.
But the art.
Bit weird, like jumping on couches and fucking... That Scientology thing, I think, turned a lot of people off.
Well, hard not to, right?
Well, just a bit weird.
Well, it's impossibly weird.
It's just a bit weird.
It's impossibly weird.
Very odd.
It's the weirdest.
It was a sci-fi novel, wasn't it?
Well, L. Ron Hubbard is... He writes sci-fi books, or he did. He's like wrote shitloads of them, and they're all awful. But he stumbled across this religion. He came up with it.
Yeah. It's part of a book.
Yeah, what a coincidence. A sci-fi writer finds a religion with aliens and time travel and volcanoes.
It's fiction.
Yeah.
Pure fiction.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think it was legitimate? It's complete bullshit.
This isn't a sacred text.
No. This is complete
This was written in what, the 60s?
Yeah. It's only been around for like fucking... Like, your parents are older than it. You know what I mean? It's fucking... Yeah, Xeno and shit, you know.
Yeah.
But it's also... I think
Dude, people spend like...
Can you just get up the list of Hollywood actors that are... Because I'm pretty sure like Will Smith's a Scientologist.
Surely that's about cold hard cash.
As in what?
As in like, we'll pay you to like...
Be one.
But I also think like...
Or are they like... Or do you become so famous and like...
I think they get you over a barrel where
or
it's
are thespians more prone to... You know, believing in 50-year-old
I think they get you over a barrel though, don't they? Don't they like, isn't part of like...
What, blackmail?
Yeah, isn't part of like what they do, like that you have to like basically, I can't remember what the fucking the process is called, but like you get audited or something and you basically have to like talk about everything that you've ever done and like you're trying to like...
Yeah, they've got like
cleanse yourself. But so basically what you do is just admit to everything I think you've ever done and then they're like, okay, well now we've got that, like...
They've got a thing called like, I think the Amy or the Amy.
Do your own research here.
But
that's as vague as it gets and probably wrong.
And like you talk about, like you said, you just talk about your feelings in your life.
To behold these things.
Yeah, and then it measures like your vibe pretty much.
But I'm still confused as to why anyone would get out of bed after a big night, nip down to the local Scientology center to like sign up.
Well, apparently for like, I don't know what happened with
Usually
Tom
I'd
Cruise.
assume it's people who are just like needing something. Needing some meaning in their life.
Yeah, I'm talking for Tom Cruise and like Will Smith here specifically.
But they started when they were young pups.
Oh, they've been in it for a year.
Yeah,
Dude,
because
I'm pretty sure,
Scientology promises them like a big career. Like that's part of it. Like if you achieve the higher levels of Scientology, like you will become, the best form of yourself and achieve your potential. And so all these like wannabe actors and wannabe famous people kind of get caught up in all those promises.
So another piece of the puzzle falls into place. Apparently, people spend like millions of dollars throughout a lifetime in leveling up and shit.
Dude, they sign like billion-year contracts, like that say like that they're committing themselves to the church, like a billion years. Like it's just a ridiculous number, right? So like, why would you? Just even that alone is like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
It's just dumb.
Why would you sign me up to a billion-year contract? Like, what's the point? When there's why don't you just go 200? There's no way I'm making it past that.
200's
150?
I think 200 you're covering all bases.
You are. A billion seems a bit much.
It just seems a bit long in the tooth.
I guess you really are covering all bases.
Well, but not all.
Well, yeah. What
do you know what I mean? If you're starting to get into like billion-year terms, like
why not a trillion? Infinity.
Why not a trillion?
Or just an infinity. You're here for as long as existence happens.
Exactly. Infinity. That's for another day. Probably for Thursday pods.
You mean just the concept, the idea.
Now I'm lost.
Scientology.
Don't know where I am.
Nah,
Top
fuck
Gun.
it. Tom Cruise.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Fucking Top Gun. Well filmed, bruh.
Yeah?
Like, heaps of like, they're all in those fucking fighter planes the whole time. So intense.
Is it a lot? That's the only thing I was...
Apparently the actors had to film themselves like in the cockpit and shit.
What I was like... That does seem like quite an intense thing to watch on a Sunday when you're fucking bounced.
But it wasn't too intense. Like it was, but it's also quite cheesy and shit, you know what I mean? Like America and shit. Like, so it's easy to watch.
Right.
You know what? Yeah. I wasn't like...
I just mean like noise.
I wasn't in a pretzel.
Like loud noise and fucking...
Yeah, but I was okay for that.
Yeah.
You know? I'd had my KFC. I had my big popcorn. I was feeling good. And sometimes I like removing myself from like...
the world.
Because I could be on that couch there all day and it doesn't break it up enough.
Yep.
You need to like...
do some shit.
Jazz it up a little bit.
I hear.
And that was the only thing I was going to do. What else would I have done? Maybe you'd go to fucking Yumcha or some shit. But other than that, they're probably the only two options that I would ever entertain.
Did you hear about that interaction between Miles Teller and Tom Cruise on set?
No. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, so Miles Teller...
Don't mind Miles.
Yeah, because, they were, like you said, they were doing all the filming actually inside the planes and stuff. So Miles Teller got sick, and so he went to go get a blood test and found that he had, like, bits of jet fuel and, like, shit like that in his blood. So he was pretty sick and had to take a few days off set. And then he gets back to set, and this is what he said. He said, I go to set the next day, and Tom's like, how did it go, Miles? What did they find? And I said, well, Tom, it turns out I have jet fuel in my blood. And without even skipping a beat, Tom goes, yeah, I was born with it, kid.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's Tom Cruise for you, though.
That's Tom Cruise. Imagine hearing that. Imagine being like the fucking dogger or the rigger or some shit. Just some guy, and he just hears that. You go, oh, my.
Yeah, this guy...
This guy is so fucking far up his own ass.
Born with it, kid. Okay, Tom. Okay, buddy. Okay, bud.
He does, like, yeah, that's a lot, Tom, but he also does.
Well, he probably was born with jet fuel in his veins.
He also does some crazy shit.
Listen, he probably was born with jet fuel in his veins, but all right, buddy. You know?
Yeah, it's all right, buddy. That's the rock stuff.
Yeah.
You know
that
what I
is.
mean?
That's like, all right, bud.
All right.
Slugger.
But then get home, pizza, fire on, bang, bed.
Pizza.
Yep.
So you went KFC into a pizza and popcorn and Sprite. Shout out to Josh Ellis Flint of Bronte Blues, who will be fucking humping you into the earth next training session. I got Plumer Road, did have a schnitzel burger and had chips, so I'm also in line for a bit of trouble, I would assume. I forgot gravy, so I fucked my entire order.
You've got to be kidding me.
I was like so pumped.
Oh my God.
I was so horny, and then I opened it.
I would have waited. I would have ordered it again and waited.
No, there was no way I could do that. I also fucked up because I put avocado on the burger, which you just don't do.
Why would you do that?
I was making all the wrong decisions, dude.
Avocado?
Yeah, bro. Yep. I played a shocker. I had a schnitzel burger, I added bacon, and I added an egg, which is play the fuck on. But warm avocado, I don't know what the fuck.
Why would you do that?
It was thoughtlessness, dude. Clearly, because I wasn't thinking straight. Because then I also got fucking no gravy. Like I barely had any chips. I was like, "There's no gravy here. I'm not fucking doing it."
Oh
no
no.
point. Anyway.
Oh no.
I get through that, Eddie, as only.
That's not a good sign.
But as only someone with the fucking stones that I have, I managed to pull through that early setback, and attack the day with the vigor it required. I booked the fights, thank Christ. They're all working. Steph and the girls get back. They're into bed, like they're having their midday sleep. It's all timed perfectly, and I'm just fucking watching people bash each other on TV, which is just a great thing to do on a Sunday. I reckon I've watched more UFCs bounce beyond belief than I have any other sport, just because of the nature of when it's airing. But then Steph was like, all right, well, I'm going out for a bit. She needed her own space. I'm like, yep, that's all good. I got it here. Once if the girls wake up or when they wake up, I've got it all sorted. They wake up, like everything's good. They sleep for a couple hours. They actually don't wake up until the fights are over. Glory be to the man up high. And then they come out and they're just sort of playing around, and you got to sort of engage. I had a splitting headache, so it's all my fault, and you can't fucking.
Did you get Panadol on board?
I pounded a couple of neuros, and it worked perfectly. But what I wanted to say here is that if you're going to play hard, you got to back up when it's like daddy time. You know what I mean? So as much as I was like, this is fucking tough, I'm like, you got to be there. But at one point, Evie picks up a toy egg and just cracks Zoe across the head with it. Good shot. Like, really cracked off her dome. And I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm sitting there with him. And Zoe...
Why'd she do that?
Because she's 2.5 and was fucking thought it would be funny, I assume.
Right.
She's not like a violent child by any means. But, I guess at some point they have these little, outbursts. Cracked her in the head. To which point Zoe starts screaming her fucking head off, like as you would expect. And I look at Evie, I go, Evie, what are you doing? Evie now wigged out about Zoe and also about the fact that I'm not happy about her behaviour, and also realising that cracking another person over the head with an egg, not play on. She now starts crying, screaming, crying. So I now have Zoe screaming, crying, Evie screaming, crying, of her own doing, like shame crying, and I'm now like, oh my God, this is hell. And this is pre-Nurofen. Headache from hell, both of them screaming. I'm trying to pick them both up and console them, but Zoe needs more consoling because she's actually injured. Evie needs some consoling on like an emotional level because she knows she's fucked up, and I need some consoling because I'm out of my depth.
How close to crying were you?
I honestly don't even think I had the wherewithal to shed tears in this moment. It was just like, oh, holy fuck. So I took him into a dark room and we sat there, and I'm like, okay, we're all good. Everything's all right. Zoe doesn't get the concept of apologies yet anyway, so she's just more like, Zoe didn't even see it coming. So for all she knows, Evie didn't do it.
Does the concept of like waterworks out of the old man, like, is that a strategy that you could employ to maybe just like curveball them?
I know what you mean. I think.
Do you know what I mean? Like having a fight with the missus, you put the tears on, fight over.
Because they think, wow, he must be.
Oh, he's upset.
He must be upset.
Fight over.
Yeah.
Does that concept apply to children?
No, but it does to a degree in the sense of like when Evie's being like a whinger. Not so much now. She's clued onto it when she was a bit younger, when she would be whinging and then like crying, sort of that one where it's bullshit. And then you'd start to do it back to her and then she'd go, oh, what? Don't cry. Why are you crying? And then, boom. But with this, I think I would have just added to the nightmare if I had started crying. I don't know that would have helped at all. But anyway, I managed to placate the situation. I managed to make it a learning experience for young Evie Rose and the importance of apologising, even though Zoe was she was fine and she wasn't even paying attention to the apology. But it certainly took... Like if I'd gathered the energy required to like attack the day and be dad and be on, and that bumped me down a few pegs though from like an energy standpoint. That was a lot. I think I took the Panadol after that, or the Nurofen. But then the rest of the day was pretty straightforward. Indian for dinner, or Thai for dinner, sorry. Shout out to Massaman curry.
The red one.
prawn massaman curry, a couple of duck pancakes.
You and prawns, dude.
Bro, I'm fucking obsessed with prawns.
Like seafood, prawns. Is this a new thing or is this like a lifelong
No,
thing?
dude, I'm a seafood whore. Are you kidding me? So when we went to the
I know you got the octopus.
turtleneck long lunch, octopus.
Through me.
I still love steak and shit, but like really good seafood gets me stiff.
Stiff's aboard.
Speaking of stiff, why is your side sore? Well, as you can see, if you're watching, there's Panadol next to the fucking.
Shout out to
Eddie's
Tobler
coffee.
who just short-balled me some Panadols. It's helped.
We should get some Panadols for the office.
We just need them. I don't know what's going on. I've got a sneaking suspicion I slept funny. At least I hope that is. I don't know what organs are over this side. I'm hoping it's not an organ issue.
Oh, you think you might have an organ problem?
I don't know.
It's not a side strain. It's not like a bowler's injury.
It could be all these things. I don't know what it is.
Well, organs are a little more concerning.
But I'm merely giving my inner musings, and it has crossed my mind today. Hopefully, it's not an organ.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. If I had to
What's
give
over
you,
that side? Is that like your liver? Maybe you need to fucking woo up.
I think it's muscular because I have vague recollections of last night being like, I've been on this side for a while and it's starting to hurt, and I didn't roll over. I don't think
You stuck to it.
I just plowed on into the good night.
If you want to talk about being fucking not in good nick, doing a side strain from literally laying on a fucking mattress is one of the great jokes of all time. Though, in fairness, liver on that side
Yep.
could be your liver, or it could be that you're so out
it
of
looks
shape.
further in.
What about an appendix? Have you had an appendix out?
No.
Every time I get side pains, I'm like, ooh, maybe I need to get my appendix taken out.
Dude,
No,
the
it goes
appendix
away.
looks fucking huge.
That's not isn't it the little thing at the end?
Well, that would be misleading in terms of where that arrow is
Oh, I
pointing.
think that arrow's pointing in the wrong position.
Oh, okay, Dr. Eddie.
But appendix that's a fucking intestine.
Yeah, maybe it's behind the intestine. We've
Right.
got a 2D map going on here.
Okay, 2D's thrown us.
Yeah, it has.
I'm on a new mattress though, Tom.
Oh, okay. So this could be.
I'm on a new mattress.
Now, is it? Did you what? Because you is it one of those ones that comes rolled up, or is
No.
this just a?
I don't know. It's been in storage. It was Ollie's, and now it's mine.
Oh, okay. So this isn't a new mattress.
No, but it is a new mattress for me.
Well, of course.
I don't know how old the mattress is. It wouldn't be that old. Like, it looks relatively new, but it's soft. And now I'm thinking to myself, is it too soft for an old bod?
Yeah, you can have a mattress that's too soft. Like
Fucking
you
oath
kind
you
of need
can.
one that's firm.
You need a firm to medium, I think.
Yeah.
It needs to be more firm than medium.
Medium rare,
Yeah.
or maybe more like medium well. Because medium rare is too soft, I think, for a mattress.
No, I think medium rare is too soft.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
because like rareness, softness, hardness.
Yeah.
I think you're looking for a medium well.
Yeah.
I'm concerned, Tom, that I'm potentially on a medium, maybe a medium rare.
Yeah.
And I don't know if my bod is up to that.
You just need something soft that's also like gonna keep
But
you
not too soft.
Not too soft, dude. You don't want it to like get you all out of whack.
You know what I'm rocking though? Like duck feather pillows, and they're fucking.
Right now, I've got.
They're
awful
beautiful.
pillows.
They're beautiful. Got them Sheridan sale, fucking whatever percent off it was. Know that I saved money in a financial year sale.
Oh, that's nice. EFS. Shout out to EFS. And are you rocking the Lag Collective sheets?
Yeah, I am. Which we'll get to.
We'll get to. Well, with that you may have. Yeah, you will get to it. Don't you worry about that. We got some new bed sheets, Punish Dribbles. EFS duck pillow sale. I'm currently like, because it's because we're in a move, but also, you know what, I've probably been putting up with it for too long. The quality of my pillows is not good.
Seriously, dude, I've been rocking these old things for too long, and I didn't like them, and I don't think they like me, quite frankly.
Well, that's not good enough.
And it was time for change. And look, I was feeling decadent. I was feeling like letting the hair down, as it were. And the duck pillows, they took my eye.
I've got a
And
serious
then the
question.
gentleman goes, pick them up. I go, okay. And he goes, give them a feel.
You got to give them a feel.
The moment you give them up, 1, 2, it's all over.
Yep. They got good recoil.
Oh, they just, not like, it's like, slowly out. You know what I mean? You're working with duck feather here, dude. Duck feathers, it's a new fucking level, mate.
Yeah, okay.
That's a new level of luxury. If you're rocking duck,
I'm assuming they kill the ducks, right?
I think they kill the ducks, eat the ducks.
And then the feathers go towards a good home.
They're not wasting good feather.
I'd hope not.
Why would you? Doesn't make any sense. Price of a duck pillow as well. You're like, mate, you're not throwing out the feathers.
You wonder why again, you just think of the technological advancements.
They live pluck them. And some of them, most retailers, it says.
Yeah, that would hurt, right?
Yeah.
Why would you live pluck a duck?
Yeah, the results here don't shine a good light on the duck down industry.
Why would you live pluck a duck?
Look, I didn't know that going in.
But you've already got it.
But I've already got it.
You've already got it. You don't
Had I known that, honestly, I'd think about it. But I've already got it.
It's too late.
And you can't take him back. He told me that. He's like, there's no refund on pillows. So
Especially with an air for sale, I assume.
no, just something about you can't take pillows back.
Same with undies.
Same with undies.
For good reason.
Try and take undies back. And they go, how long you been wearing these for? So 6 months.
Yeah.
The elastic's gone on them though, and I want a refund. I go,
Well, you can't.
you can't. Lose weight.
But also, put on weight if the elastic's gone. You can't try undies on though, right? When you go and get undies, it's like you just got to go a vibe. And obviously, you know your size, but they do vary from.
No,
from
well,
brand
you
to
know
brand.
what? You know what, Tom? And I think I speak for all men. You have almost certainly, at some point in your life, got undies too big or too small for you. You need a couple of bites of the cherry, as it were, to get it right.
Yep.
And once you get a brand, you stick with them because they vary, like you say. But you're destined to make a fuck up or two. Destined.
There's a part of me, I've got a few new pairs of undies recently from some different providers. But I think that there's a real benefit to simplifying the undies and socks facet of your wardrobe, right? Like, I don't want to have to do too much thinking when it comes to undies and socks. And there's a part of me that thinks that when I get into my new residence, domicile, I might throw out any undies or socks that I have that aren't that are older than say 4 months.
And just go again.
Go again, but when it comes to socks, I'm just going to get a fuckload of white ones and a fuckload of black ones, and that's it. So I'm never where am I sock going to go? Just keep it simple. I compare this sock with that sock and that. And the undies, everything's fresh and new and crisp and clean and ready to rock.
Yep. You go out and get the new undies. That's a great idea. Just know with the socks, just know this, in case you'd forgotten. They'll go walkabout in 3 months, minimum, maximum.
Maximum.
In 3 months, if you went out and bought 10 sets each, in 3 months' time, you'll be rocking them together because you'll have run out of them.
But that's the beauty of going all black and
They
all white.
they literally they go fucking.
They disappear.
They go. I don't know where they go.
No, but that's why you go all black and all white. So it's I lose one black sock and another black sock. Look who pairs together the two fucking odd ones.
Like that. That's smart.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you get too funky fresh with them,
the amount of times I'll rock around and I've got some completely different socks on. Are they different or are they the same?
No, these are the same. But these are my last. I bought 4 or 5 pairs of these Nike black ones. One set left. One healthy set left. One.
And you can tell when you get a healthy one, you're like, oh yeah, these two look like they're the same age as well. 'Cause sometimes you get socks, you're like, oh yeah, these are 2 different age socks. But
They might both be black, but they are
completely different.
They're also different cut.
Yeah, different cut, different age.
Different length. Different fabric.
Yeah, completely different. They're just the same
Well, they're
colour.
a different sock.
Yeah, they're a different sock.
Who have been forced into a loveless marriage.
Completely. This is an arranged marriage. And yeah, there's nothing good comes from that.
Nah. Well,
But that's not true.
That's
in
not-
the sock game.
no, I don't think that's true. You'll still get through the day in them.
But then you got holes. There are ones that I rock with holes in them where it's
Dude,
I can feel my toes poking out of these fucking things as I get around. I'm like,
Dude,
I don't
had
even
holy
know why
socks
I
on
wear them.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that what my life's become? Wearing holy socks. I had to they were gone at the back of the heel. I had to rip them.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you stretch them
Yeah.
and then you fold them up
Yeah.
over the back and then slip your foot in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 31 years old and I get around in holy socks 30% of the time.
Right, same with
But
undies.
it's like, But I have to.
But I get around in holy undies. And I got some new ones, so thankfully that's largely no longer my reality, but I certainly still have them. And they're ones where, like, you bend over to get something. Like, my testicles are 100% out of my undies right now. Like, they have popped out the arse of this thing, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm fucking, to your point, I'm 33, father of 2, just trying to, keep shit together, and my nuts are out of my undies. Not good enough.
It's not good enough.
No.
And now you know, as you get older, why older men get socks and undies for Christmas.
When you're a kid,
because there is a legitimate need for them.
When you would
and
hear
your
about
wife
that, though,
is sick of seeing her hubby's nuts as he bends over to fucking
as he's walking around, like you might sleep in them. You might have your holy undies as your sleep ones, and then you're sitting on the couch in the morning. You don't realise that you've got this fucking.
You got the in-laws over. Tom bends over to fucking stoke the fire.
There, sitting on the couch.
That's why you get socks and undies for Chrissy.
Yeah. But when you're a kid, you're like, socks and undies, that's lame. Now I'm like, bro, honestly, get me them. But also get me them like all the same colour. I just don't
And
need.
get the brand I want and get the size I need.
You know what? Let me do it. Don't worry, I'll do it. And I won't do it. But I'll take it off your hands and I won't do it. And then I'll have holy undies. My nuts will be out in like 5 minutes.
Can't win.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Podcast this week brought to you by our good friends at Pilot, baby. Pilot. Pilot.com.au. And if you're using the promo code Dribblers, your first doctor's consult for free. Now, obviously, I just got straight into the promo code side of things. You may not know, well, you should, but you might not know what Pilot does. It's basically an online health portal for men, for blokes, for guys like you and I. And to be honest, it's a really good tool for if you find yourself in a health-related situation and you need... And maybe you don't feel like going to a fucking doctor.
Which is most of us.
Yeah, dude.
No, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I'm speaking for most of us.
Yep.
Most of us don't like going to the doctor. We're too big, we're too strong, we're too tough, we're too scared.
We're too good, but we're too scared because they're not really good. We're pussies.
We don't want that. We don't want that interaction. We don't want to have to run into our fucking old school teacher at the thing and like he's like, "Why are you here?" And you're like, "I'd rather not say." And then when you don't say, it's like, "Well, it must be bad.
Must be something wrong."
Do you know what I mean? But then if you're giving away any information, it's like, "Well, that's too much information."
Too much information.
I don't want to give away any information.
I don't want to have to tell you why I'm here, and if I don't tell you, it's too much. And now we're in a situation where I've basically openly admitted to you that I've got ejaculation problems.
Exactly. And I didn't want to have to do that, but I had to do that because I ran India. I wish I could do it online, but now you can do it online. Pilot.com.au/Hello Sport, promo code Dribblers, first consult for free, speak to a doc online. The doc will prescribe you with medication should you require. It will get sent to you discreetly. No one will know, not even if your missus or your boyfriend or your mum or your dad or your sister or your brother. Doesn't matter. You can hide it if you want to.
Yep.
Pilot. Make smart decisions.
All right, so the Origin teams have been named. New South Wales are exactly the same, except that Jordan McLean comes in for Payne Haas, who's injured. The centres are the same in Burton and Crichton, and then Jackie Boy Whiten is the 18th man. So there was a yarn, I think, that like Talakai was going to get dropped, and Whiten was going to be brought in as a utility. But then I was like, in my mind, I was like, doesn't that mean we'd have 2 utilities on the bench?
That was the yarn. That was the yarn. And I think it makes more sense. Talakai can play in the back row if you need. You know,
and in the front row.
And the front row. He's a big body. He's a big body. He's a big body. He's a big body.
Yeah.
He's a big body.
And we won the last game. So, like,
we didn't just win, Tom.
We pumped him. We humped him. We pumped him.
We humped him and we pumped him.
And we dumped him.
And we dumped him. Now, I think that given that we humped him, given that we played terrific football, rugby league football, Origin football, it wouldn't have made sense to make any changes at all, really.
No.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Think about it. Trell pulled himself out.
Which I respected, but couldn't help people giving him shit about it.
I know.
I'm like, well,
do you know what, dude?
You know, and honestly, like, the way that he is, like, treated by the media and shit is fucking disgraceful.
I don't know who this journo is. Well, like, I think maybe he might even be a Fox Sports News reporter. Mark Gottlieb. Have you heard that name?
Gottlieb, yep. Heard of Gottlieb.
He put out a tweet. It was a photo of Trell wearing his Mark Hughes beanie, but it was just rolled up, so you couldn't see the Mark Hughes. But he was just, and he's like, fuck, could you just find his tweet? I saw it, I was like, this is one of the most ridiculous fucking takes in human history. And, like, just it exemplified the unnecessary, like, Trell bashing. Where is this fucking guy?
What's his name? What, Gottlieb?
Mark
Oh,
Gottlieb.
Here we go.
Can you put it on screen? Because I can't find him on Twitter. Kind of defeats.
Oh, sorry.
So it's Trell wearing the beanie, but it's like rolled up like a Melbourne hipster, so it's above the ears. Mark Gottlieb kind of defeats the point of wearing a beanie if you cover up the logo for fashion purposes. Like, hey, bro, relax.
Maybe his ears were warm. Like,
But
who says
also,
for fashion
like,
purposes?
hey, who gives a shit?
Everyone knows why
Everyone's wearing fucking beanies, Mark. Relax. Everyone's wearing beanies. And you know what? If he wasn't wearing a beanie, you probably wouldn't have said, hey, Trell, why aren't you wearing a beanie? Who gives a shit? Get off the guy's back.
Yeah.
Like, what are you fucking upset that he's got it rolled up like you don't like his fashion?
Yeah. It's extremely unnecessary from Gottlieb because people are like, well, like, you know, fucking how about Trell ruling himself out? It wasn't guaranteed to get picked. I'm like, healthy Trell gets picked every day of the fucking week. Shut up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you telling me that healthy Trell's not better than Stephen Crichton? Is that what you're telling me?
Healthy Trell is better than everyone. So it's all good. He was going to be picked at the start of the series, but he was injured.
Yeah.
So that's why he wasn't there. And all of the talk has been about will Trell get picked.
That's literally the only thing anyone's
So
been
he
talking
just
about.
said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not
And
playing.
then they go, oh, well, who said you were going to get picked? You
Everyone.
Did. You did.
You fucking
You
did.
said it. You said it. You fucking said it, mate.
You fucking were like, oi, do you reckon what are they going to do? Is he picked over Crichton? Is Whiten in there? Every motherfucker was talking about that. So he was like, you know what? I'm just making it easy. I'm not playing. I'm out. And humbly be like, give Crichton a fucking go.
What
Let
a
Burton
What
go.
a fuckwit. What a fuckwit. Out of there.
What a fuckwit. Seriously, what a fuckwit. But anyway, I just saw that tweet and I was like, what a waste of time that is. You've gone and found that photo, screenshotted it, uploaded it to Twitter, and then had your little fucking rant about it. And then people going back to him going, it still gets the point across. It literally doesn't.
Nah,
if
but
you
it
don't
do-
know
nah,
about
but it
the
does.
beanies, it's just a beanie. It works for you because you already know.
How many people wear beanies in their training gear?
Do you think people who know absolutely nothing about rugby league are tuning in at halftime of an early evening rugby league game? And Gottlieb, and do I think people who aren't rugby league fans casually tune into games on TV look, he's going back and forth with people about this shit.
Do you think people know what MHF means if they're not footy fans? Honestly, mate, this is silly, really silly. Thanks for providing my point, mate. They want the logo to be known more widely than just rugby league. That's why they want everyone to wear it. Mark.
If you don't even see the logo,
Mark's
you don't
not a
ask
big
what
thinker.
it means.
But every other player is wearing the beanie as well
Every
with the logo
single
across the whole
fucking
weekend.
player and coach and fucking presenter is wearing these beanies, and Trell is rolling his up for a 3-minute interview, Mark. I think the fucking brand is getting out there, bro. They made $4 million, I think they raised. Congratulations to them. Fantastic cause. This shit is just a waste of time. But it's filled fucking 5 minutes for us, so I can't be completely angry.
Well, from a
about
content perspective, like we
Mark's done us a real favour.
welcome Mark and his
weird takes.
his weird takes.
Unnecessary Trell attacks.
I wonder if that's like Mark's thing, weird takes.
Weird takes with Mark Gottlieb. Coffee table book.
Anyway, back to the side. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That side turns me on.
Yep.
It's turned me on in the past. I expect it to turn me on again.
There's not much really else to say
What else
about
do
it,
you
right?
say?
We roll back in and we do it again.
1
we
to
get the
20.
job done.
I mean, look, Reece Robson comes in 22. Jacob Saifiti's still in the squad.
In Freddie, we trust. And
Gotho at 20. Nico at 19. Jack White at 18.
I haven't paid much attention to Jordan McLean, to be completely honest, with the punter and the dribbler. And obviously he's from North. He's plays for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are going well. So it's like, you know.
He's also got a bloke to look up to in Jay Trebojevic and go, okay,
yeah.
that's how you play Origin
This is how you
football.
play Origin football. But what I do think, though, like, is if you're like Regan Campbell-Gillard, who gets picked for game one, and then you're not even second, like, you get dropped for game two, obviously Jake comes back in, and Jake we trust. Jake plays till he's 80. But there is a chaos to, like, sometimes with these Origin selections where it's like, oh, so Gillard's just gone now? Is he just, like, not even in contention? Or is Jordan McLean, who, again, I haven't paid much attention to,
I know what you mean.
the next cab off the rank because he's like, is he killing it?
It's like, well, how can Regan be going there for game 1 and then be dropped for game 2 and then not recoil when there's a position game 3?
Yeah.
I understand that. My only thought around that, Tom, would be that Freddie hasn't liked what he's seen out of RCG in the week since.
At Clubland?
Potentially,
Well,
yeah.
they did lose to South.
And didn't
which I love.
like his game 1 performance. That's all I can put it down to. Like, I was listening to Stories of Origin the other day. I'm sort of chipping away at it.
You are obsessed with that podcast.
Well, I'm just chipping away at it.
No, I'm not negatively. I just know that is like, that's
I've
your show at the
I've
moment.
enjoyed it, yeah. And Freddie was saying that his Adokara mission was more about form than anything else, which probably explains why they didn't get super aerial in the first couple of games. You know, we just assumed it was an aerial thing.
Yes,
it was a form
wasn't.
thing.
It was a form thing.
Yeah,
I'd like him to have a crack at a bit more aerial work game 3.
Same. Like you and I are big proponents of the aerial
approach.
Yes. We like things aerial. And off the back of Top Gun yesterday, I'm in an aerial mood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like him to see him go aerial. I don't see why they wouldn't, because Tupou is an aerial
proponent, operator.
Yeah. He also exploits people without an aerial game. Exploits those with aerial deficiencies.
Well, no one is aerial as Tupou. So even if you consider yourself to be slightly aerial, best believe you're not as aerial as Tupou.
There's levels to aerial. Levels.
Yep.
And he out aerials you.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. So that asked me, then I come to the question, Tom, and you and I have mulled over this. When you've got a bloke that can put a Steeden on a sixpence.
Sixpence?
Sixpence. Sixpence.
Sixpence.
Sixpence.
I don't know what it is. I know it's a fucking coin.
It's
probably.
a bit of metal.
Yeah.
Then
let's say a 5-cent piece, maybe. Bit more contemporary, even though coins have gone the way of the fucking cassette player as well.
I don't
Valet
think
coins.
Well, I think that if I'm running an eye over things, the 5-cent coin surely doesn't have long.
No.
It just couldn't have long.
No. But it's almost like not worth holding on to.
Do you reckon they knocked the 10 out at the same time?
I think you could.
Because I think they did the 1-2 double last time.
I think if you were
I think the 1 and the 2 went, see you later, bruh.
Yeah, but then what? Does every price go up like 20 cents? Is that what everyone's going to do?
No one pays cash.
Yeah, but they got to put the prices up. They can't charge like $1.25 for something.
What do you mean? They're already charging fucking 1 and 2 cent prices.
Yeah, fuck, that's true, hey. It's a bit of a thinker, that one.
It is.
It's a good point, though, because they
Look,
do.
I think that if I had to guess, I think the 10 cent may hang on.
Look, I think that, the decision makers are always reticent to go making too big of a call. They like to just do everything really slowly, much to, everyone else's sort of...
Look up the 5 center. Is it with us for much longer? Whilst you look that up, back to my point, Nathan Cleary can put a Steeden on a 5-cent coin. So you're telling me you've got a man with that sort of capability, he can put it wherever the fuck he wants. Enters the aerial threat. 3 or 4 meat pies that way.
Tupou spends more time at cruising altitude than he does on the ground.
That's correct. That's a fact.
So it just seems silly to make him come down to catch a pass when you could just meet him where he is.
Stay up there.
Meet him where he is.
Meet him in the air.
Yeah.
Meet him in the air.
Much like when they refuel planes in the sky.
That's right.
Send a plane up to him.
What we're looking for is a rendezvous. A rendezvous between Steeden and Man.
Yep. A mid-air rendezvous.
A mid-air
between
rendezvous
Steeden and Man.
between Steeden and Man. Shout out to Buzz Aldrin, who apparently was obsessed with rendezvous. They'd go out, like when they were training to go to the fucking moon and shit. Like people avoided Buzz Aldrin because he was just all he would talk about is rendezvous.
What do you mean?
Like, fuck off, Buzz.
What do you mean rendezvous?
He was obsessed with the idea of fucking the lunar module couldn't rendezvousing with the fucking with the spacecraft and shit.
Right, so he just wanted a rendezvous in space.
He just wanted a rendezvous with everything.
Dude,
and everyone's
rendezvous, one of the great words. Is it French?
Yeah, I would say so.
It sounds French.
Rendezvous.
Rendezvous, dude.
Yeah, it's a great
That's
word.
a great fucking word.
Yeah. And it's not used as much anymore.
No, it's not.
So I want to see a rendezvous between Man and Steeden.
Yeah.
It
That's
is
what I wanna see.
French, from the late 16th century French word to present yourselves.
Well, let's see a rendezvous between Man and Steeden at cruising altitude, please. Game 3.
Yeah.
I think that's what we
and
want.
5 and 10 cent coins actually could be going the way of the cassette player soon. There was an article from 2011 where the government at the time said there's no plans to phase them out.
Government.
But in 2020, there was an article on news.com.au saying the Royal Australian Mint is gently nudging the 5 cent piece into its grave. This was like at the start of the pandemic where like cash was just going and dying. So it says, it says the 5 and the 10 cent coins are due to die naturally soon enough. But the pandemic is going to shorten their
How
lifespan.
does a coin die naturally?
No
I
one
think
uses it.
eventually enough people stop using it, they're like, well, there's no point. There's got to be a point where it costs them more money to make the coins.
So they can stop making them, but then where do the coins go? We just have them everywhere.
They just whenever they're used, and then like you pile them up and take them to the bank. The bank don't put them back into
It's like
circulation.
the old notes.
I
That's
thought
how
maybe
old
they
the
just
notes.
exist in like bedside drawers across the globe.
Well,
Forever
but they
and ever.
will, because there's one like there was like a giant tub of 1 and 2 cent coins in our house.
Yeah,
I remember
saying my
going
old
up.
man had a fuckload of them, and I'm like, what are these doing?
What are these doing? What do you got them for?
I guess when they were taken out of circulation, there's probably an element of like, well, fuck, this is still money at some point. But then you go, I'm never doing anything with this.
Because you can still take them to the bank and make. Like you got them, you can take them in for
Yeah,
money,
Yeah. It's not going to be much.
but they're still valuable.
Yes.
They're not.
They have value.
Yes.
I found a, what the fuck was it in my backyard? When we lived in Barrel, when my parents were renovating the house in the backyard, they found a well that we didn't realize.
Fuck off.
They found a
Dude, wells are etched.
Dude, etched. But so, but
Don't
what,
you reckon?
Yeah, no, they are. You fall
I
down a
just
well,
think,
you're
yeah,
fucking.
fucking, that's what all I think about.
But so it was right where the back steps of our house was, and so back whenever the place was being used, it was a well that was dry and fucking big, and eventually they just went, put a big slab of cement over it, and then just so no one ever knew. And then when they were renovating the house, they found like holy shit, found like old boots in there and like all this really old crazy shit. And then I think once they sussed it all out, then they just filled it in with shit. And then there was like on our back path, there'd be like a sink, and then you'd fill it up with gravel, and then it would just sink again eventually because this well was just there. Anyway, I found a penny in my backyard, and I thought I was going to be fucking rich.
Because you found a penny.
Because I was like, oh, this is a really old coin. Parents are like, bro, it's a penny. Don't get too horny for this thing. It's a
Right,
penny.
so you found a penny and you thought you were rich.
I was
Because
like,
you'd never seen it before.
of course, when the fuck am I coming into contact with a penny?
I'm just trying to understand the thought process of a young boy who
Yes.
finds a penny.
Finds a penny from the 20s, and I brought it back to life. You put it with like tomato sauce and water or something, and it cleaned it right off,
Right.
stripped it right back.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, what's this worth? And they're like, whatever the fuck a penny's worth, bro.
Can I tell you a fucked up story about a well?
Yep.
My old man would tell us this story that I don't know how old he was, but a sheep fell in the well and they didn't know about it. And then the fucking water started stinking and shit, like when they're in the house. They're like, fuck, check the well, sheep in there. Pretty sure Dad lost a rock off and had to climb down there and like bucket this thing out. Bucket out a decomposing sheep out of a well.
The sheep's the least
So
scary part of that whole thing. You're going to go into a well.
A, you're in a well. B, you're scooping out a decomposing sheep.
But what about that?
Big day.
What was the ancient civilization that when they used to sacrifice bodies to try and get rain, and they'd chuck dead bodies in the well, and it just poisoned the water and killed everyone?
Yep. That's...
It was somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Sacrificings went on.
Yeah,
But
how did
throwing
they?
him into the water system fucked everyone. That was not the right play.
No.
Was it the
Carthaginians?
Yeah, those ones.
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I know, but I
think
know
that's
the
what it is.
name.
But so how do they clean the well after the sheep's been in there? Like, how does the water get back to being clean
great
water?
question.
It just naturally, because it's like, it's just
From
coming
the water
up.
table.
So you just got to keep testing it until it's like, yep, doesn't.
I think you
taste
just
like
keep...
sheep
I don't know. It's a great question, but like it's not a... The water's replaced.
Right.
Does that make
Yes,
sense?
that does make sense. So he's probably having to bail all the water out.
Potentially bailing out a lot of it, yeah.
Fuck that shit. Fuck going into a well.
Fuck wells, dude.
Yeah, fuck wells. But also, like, Thanks to Wells.
No,
for providing water.
No, but like huge shout out to Wells, Tom, and what Wells have done for humanity
Yeah.
over millennia.
Yeah, well, kept us going.
Kept us going. Our species owes the well a great
Debt of gratitude.
debt of gratitude. But on a personal level, not a big well guy.
No, well, they scare me. I'm scared of Wells. But I
scared of Wells.
appreciate the value they bring.
Yep. But I'm not a big well guy.
No.
They're often in horror movies and shit like that. Was they in The Ring? Was there a well in The Ring?
I don't know,
I think
dude.
there might have been. Scary movie.
Yeah. Anyway, sports podcast. So that was the New South Wales side. I think we win well. Let's go aerial and have a mid-air rendezvous between Man and Steeden. We know that. Queensland side, Dave. Shout out to the mini manta ray getting into its work. Basically the same as the last game, but Felice Kafusi is out because I think his family issues. Jeremiah Nanai is in the back row. And then we've got Harry Grant, Jai Arrow, Pat Carrigan, and Tom Gilbert, who's another North Queensland. Fuck me, they got some Origin players. Good God. So basically the same. Basically the same. Now, I hope we send some traffic at Dane Gagai again. No disrespect to Dane, but 18 missed tackles in 2 games, fame.
Look, it's an average of 9 a game for those that want quick math done for them. There you go. You're more than welcome.
Yep.
I just think, look, there's a chance that Dane Gagai goes big in front of his own people and doesn't miss a tackle. But also, there's a good chance that after missing an average of 9 in the last 2 games, that he'll miss another 9.
Yeah.
That's what we're banking on.
I'm also banking on the Burton bomb giving Murray and Selwyn some fucking nightmares.
I think, look, that's going to be a long sleep. A long sleep the day before. And the thing about this, the Burton bomb is, because he's the best in the business, even if you get someone in there to like replicate, it's not the same thing.
No.
You got to drop it from a helicopter. Maybe they get half a sniff. Maybe
Even then, the way they fall from a helicopter isn't controlled like Burton's, you know what I mean?
That's a good point. It's erratic.
It's a rat. It's just going to...
Exactly.
You need to have someone booting that fucker. And unless you got Burton, you don't have anyone.
I like that he's bringing back the sacred art of the torp.
Yeah, but he's bringing it back, but he's also reinventing it because no one can do it like he does it. No one's done it like he's done it before.
Has a ball been torped like that before?
I don't think so, dude.
In the history of man?
No. Shout out to the rain.
Is that too loud, Tobler?
Nah, fuck it. Let's just hope it doesn't flood. It is raining. It is what it is. Punters, dribblers, it is raining. Shout out to the people who are getting flooded again. I can't imagine what that is like. Thinking of you, that'd fucking suck.
I was told that El Nino had ended.
La Nina, and no. Well, I was in an Uber going to the lunch, and I go, fuck this weather, eh? Because that's all you talk about with people.
Yes.
And then he goes...
people you don't know.
Yeah, people you don't know. It's small talk. Yeah, no. He goes, great day to eat at the pub. I go, yes, weather's fucked, isn't it? He was like, well, no, it's just winter. And I'm like, yeah, like I guess. But, you know, he's like, well, no, like the start was rain, and that was La Nina. This is now just winter. I was like, is it though? Maybe you're right. I don't remember winters. Just because it's winter, I don't remember it being rainy. I remember rain being more of a summer.
Someone told me we got double the July average in 4 days. Is that winter?
Yeah,
That's not winter.
I didn't think winter was a particularly like, oh, it's winter, it rains.
Then someone was spinning the other night that La Nina is around for another 2 years. So I don't know where we're at.
No one knows a fuck. 2 years.
That's what someone said.
Someone told me we might be in for a third straight La Nina, which is complete horse shit in the sense that it may be true, but from a like why perspective, fuck that. There's got to be cloud seeding. Get the tinfoil hat on, cloud seeding, government's behind it.
No one knows.
Third straight La Nina.
No one knows.
That sounds like it's so close to pissing into our office here. Just the sound of it, it's slapping. It's slapping, dude. Wait, ask me if Strata's come to fix the leak 2 months after they said they would. Ask me, Eddie.
Ask.
Nah. Ask me if they've even been in touch.
Ask
nah. Haven't heard from them. Love it.
Love it.
So that's the Queensland side. That's Origin. New South Wales win.
New South Wales win and win well.
We still haven't got any tickets to the game. People have said, like, yeah, and then we followed up, and then they just disappeared.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's some tire kicking shit right there.
We're not here for tire kickers.
No.
If you've got tickets, let us know.
corporate box, ideally,
But whatever.
Edward, when we talk rugby league on the show, we do it thanks to our good friends at KO, the only place that rugby league exists in glorious quad HD, 400K, 400,000K, 800,000K, all 8 games in 800,000K, one of the great offerings of all time. Shout out to KO. They bring you rugby league. Now, Eddie.
Yes.
Thursday night. Did you watch any rugby league?
Thursday night. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
You know what we did?
What?
Beat the number 2 side in the competition.
Believe that.
Now, firstly, from a betting context, obviously your heart was a little broken.
It was.
But ultimately...
No, but like, you know, in the fullness of time, Tom, I can move on. I can recover. I can shift my attention to what really matters. Tonka, calm the fuck down. And that is that Manly beat the Melbourne Storm at home 36 to 30 with one of the great performances I've ever seen. Now, you could say, what about the 4 tries in 5 minutes at the end of the game? That's not a bit like...
That's queuing the rack shit, dude. We don't care.
But we can fix that.
Yeah.
Let's assume that doesn't happen. The score's like 36 to fucking 12 or something. You know what I mean?
It was a fucking humping.
That's what we're capable of.
And then you've got like some losers, probably in the D or Dave camp, no disrespect, who are like, oh, we didn't have fucking Munster. It's like, we don't have Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah.
We don't have Tom Trbojevic.
Eye for an eye.
Yeah, well,
and Tom's Dally M medalist, so he's better than Munster.
Yeah. But he's not coming back this year. Munster is, so we got that to look forward to. Plus,
cool.
we're missing 3 other of our starters.
Cool. But that's not what you're just talking out your arse and you're like, you've got that to look forward to, but you lost.
You lost. And we won. And we were really fucking good apart from, look at it, what was it, 74, 77, 78, 79. Otherwise, you guys didn't do shit. Brandon Smith got it. It was really, dude, it was really 36 to 6 because Brandon Smith ripped a ball out of Marty Tapau's hand against the runner play.
No, that was unfair.
One of the most embarrassing tries of all time.
Well, exactly. It made no sense, right? So really, it was a 36 to 6 absolute pumping. I was, to be honest, watching the game from the first set, I was like, Manly marched, we rolled down the fucking field. We were awful to start. We were 2 from 7, like our first 7 sets.
Yeah, no good.
But we were just pounding you, just marching up the field. I was like, oh, okay, if we can learn to hold onto the fucking ball, we are good to go here. Good to go. But, mate, we beat the Storm.
So that you can shut up about all that top 4 stuff. You can shut your mouth about that.
Bully.
You can shut your mouth about that, mate. No longer relevant. No longer an argument. You can put that to bed.
Shut the fuck up.
People reckon the Storm will win the comp. What do you reckon now? Maybe Manly wins the comp.
Maybe Manly wins the comp.
36 to 6. Are you taking the piss? That is big.
That's beautiful, dude. Look at that.
Munster can't make up for that, mate.
Munster's not worth 30 fucking points, I tell you.
No way, bruh.
Now,
if Tommy's playing, it's 76 to 6.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And if you want to say let's say Munster's worth 10 points. If Munster plays at 76 to 16.
Well,
I'll allow that.
And then you got Xavier Coates and Remus Smith who are worth we get 30 points back because great defensive edge.
No disrespect to Remus Smith, but Brad Parker's out.
Cool, he doesn't defend as well as Remus Smith.
Yeah, he does. He defends way better than Remus Smith.
Nah, that's like why he's in the side.
Brad Parker's better than Remus Smith. No, it's not like he is better than Remus Smith. No disrespect to Remus. Dave's putting you in the hot seat. We didn't mean for this to happen, Remus.
We didn't bring Remus up.
No, Dave did.
Dave
tried to compare Remus to fucking Brad Parker.
Trying to make out like Remus Smith's the greatest defender of all time.
Carl Lawton out for the season.
Carl Lawton. Great.
Not Olakau'atu, fucking...
Dude, Olakau'atu is such a handful.
But not in contention for New South Wales, apparently. They're not looking at him.
That try he scored was so fucking elite.
Dude, he is...
The little bang in and out he gave to fucking Pap at the end. I'm like, bruh.
Yep.
Whilst he's like not completely balanced, fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a psycho, dude. He's a psycho and he's just getting better and better every week.
And better.
Getting better and better and better.
And better.
So good.
And better.
Our boy Stubby Cooler Canicola really, what did we say? Once he broke his fucking try-scoring drought, it was like, tries are coming for that
That's
boy.
what we said. Watch this kid.
Yeah.
Watch this kid. Like, he's too quick, mate.
Yeah.
He's too powerful.
2 tries, love it.
Intercept,
Saab,
bang, see you later. I'm
JC
off.
Saab got over, Tuipulotu. Like, look, it was a good mix of fucking forwards and backs. And by a mix, I mean we had one forward score and the rest was backs. But still.
It was all on the edges where we're missing literally all our players.
Okay, so you're missing all of your players, and so that means you can't defend?
Yeah.
What about Justin Olam?
Apart from him. But he
Okay,
hasn't
right.
got his combinations because
Right.
he's playing outside like
Right,
3
so
new
basically
people.
what you're saying is that you guys are soft cocks and you miss one player and you're out. When we've got Tommy out, fucking we've got
Well, we're
Brad
actually,
Parker
we're
out.
actually missing
We've
like 4
got
out of
Carl
our 5
Lawton
back
out.
5.
Josh Alloway wasn't playing.
Josh Alloway was out.
So we've got Christian Welch, we've got Robert Jennings, George Jennings.
Robert, can you
George
stop naming
Jennings.
fucking
We've
like
got
people
Xavier
that
Coates,
made that you
Remus
think like this
Smith,
is a
Felice
that's
Kafusi.
that's embarrassing,
Cooper
dude.
Johns.
Cooper Johns wouldn't be in the side.
Is he injured?
I don't know if he's injured.
Yeah, right. You don't even know.
Why are you naming
Nah, he
people
wouldn't have
that...
been in there.
Just it's embarrassing.
Manasi Fano, we've got... He's missing...
Yeah,
like,
he's
you know what I
out.
mean? Let's
Like,
just name everyone
What are
possible.
we doing? What are we doing?
Glenn Lazarus would have been good for us.
Nah, he wouldn't be up to the modern game, Glenn. No disrespect. He's not cut for the right cloth. It felt good, and it now feels even better hearing this little loser try and fucking...
You know what that is?
We're missing Robert
Do you know
Jennings.
you know what that is? Doubt.
Yeah, it's doubt.
That's a kid doubting his side.
D or Doubtfire.
Dior Doubtfire. Great point. Great.
No
point.
belief in his team. We've always believed.
We believe. We're full of belief.
We just know that whoever's picked will do a job, whereas he's like, fucking... So what, you're going to shit on Dean Aramiah or
No, I
whoever the
love
fuck
Dean
else you have?
Aramiah.
Marion Seve.
I love Marion Seven.
No, you will clearly not.
Jaden Nicarima had a game to forget. Poor
So did
bastard.
Josh Schuster, to be fair.
Josh came off the bench, didn't
No,
start
and
in the
then,
halves.
And then gave away a penalty and then let in a try. I was disappointed. I'm not saying this is
No,
someone
I
who
mean,
hates
Josh
him.
played like
I'm
5
just-
minutes as opposed to Jaden, who got hooked for getting absolutely humped into the earth by Olakawatu. So there is a slight difference.
He got humped.
He got humped.
So there's that.
So there is also
That's
that.
why I said Cooper Johns should have been there.
Well, Cooper's not playing. So yeah, now you're having a crack at Bellamy, it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Famous win.
Famous win, great win for the club, great win for Belief, great win for Rugby League, great win for the Peninsula.
And everyone's like, oh, fucking Manly. It's like, listen, the last time this happened, we lost the game. You'd call this an improvement. This is a side getting better.
And better.
This is right direction sort of stuff.
And better and better. And
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
And better. So Manly up to 9th.
Yep.
We like that.
Slipstreaming, dude. Slipstreaming.
No one believed us.
Now we have the bye, which is nice. A guaranteed
Another 2 points.
2 points there.
So Matt Buxton of Waterboy fame told me that the reason that you get 2 points for the bye is so that teams don't go into a bye round being like, fuck, we could come out of this lower on the ladder. So you maintain, you at least maintain, in some cases, go up on the ladder. You never go down.
Surely you could go down if a team below you gets a win and their points differential goes up.
No, of course. But, like, you're not going to move dramatically.
Yeah. So who have the Dragons got next week, David?
Next week.
Because they're
so
keeping us out of the 8.
yep, you guys play the Dragons in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, well, we'll beat them.
That's
but
a
I
W.
mean, but like, who do
Dragons
they
have
play
got Broncos next week.
There we go. Up the
So
Bronx.
they'll lose to the Bronx, and then we'll
We're
beat
ahead of
them, and
them.
so then they're way down.
Then we beat them, and so we're
So then they're way down.
4 points ahead.
And the week before you guys play them, they play the Roosters as well.
Okay, so hold on.
So they've, got Broncos while you've got a bye. Then they've got Roosters while you guys play the Knights, and then you guys play.
Right.
Oh, baby, we come out. We'll be 6 points ahead of them by the end of this thing.
That's
Because they'll lose to the
perfect.
Roosters, the Broncos, and to us. 3 games.
No, we love
in.
that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Rest of the games, I did watch, but I didn't. Like, I know that some people are like, well, Panthers, fucking Roosters were robbed or whatever. Like, the biggest one is the Titans, who just, I don't understand how shit they are. Like, why are they so shit? I don't get why they're so shit. Before that, we're going to miss Kieran Foran so fucking much.
Yeah, we are.
I'm
Such a steady hand, bro.
why did we let him go, dude? Surely we find a way for that motherfucker to stay. He's so good. I don't want him to go. And Dylan Walker. I don't want him to go.
Dylan Walker's fucking good. We're going to miss the fuck out of him.
I don't want him to go, Eddie.
Manasi Fano has been offered a deal pending court, which starts this week.
Does it?
Yeah.
Get it. Titans awful. Titans, I repeat, are awful. The rest of the games, though, I don't know. Scroll down. Anything else?
Sharks got it done against the Dogs. Cowboys humped the Bronx.
South over the Eels,
Rabbitohs over the
baby.
Eels. I loved that.
Loved it.
Now, Warriors did get the chockies, Tom.
And I'm happy for him. I just saw a bed shit. But in the end, it was a bed shit from the Tigers, which you also expect they're a DMC.
22-2.
Good. I'm happy for the Warriors.
When did they take the 2 points? Late in the second half?
I think it probably with a few minutes to go, they would have taken the 2.
That'd really
right on halftime.
Yep.
So it was... So they were down by...
10-0.
They were down by
No.
14. 2 tries, 2 conversions, and a penalty goal.
14-0.
14-0, and they took the 2 on halftime. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. I mean, I guess, but...
Right in front,
Yeah,
probably.
sweet. Congrats to the Warriors. Congrats to the Rabbitohs. Fuck the Eels. And then...
Dragons beat the Raiders, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I was on the Raiders.
Yeah, I know you were.
So,
But it was also one of the shittest games in terms of just like piss and rain. Did you see the images of like Raiders fans? 2 Raiders fans on the hill at Wynn Stadium. They damn near got blown into the ocean. It was so wet and windy. I was like, nothing is worth that.
some people just love their rugby league,
Love
Tom.
it, dude. But they're like, the guy looked like they're holding a fucking cold schooner. I'm like, your hand must be frozen off.
Got to respect it.
Got to
though.
respect it.
Got to respect it.
You got to respect it.
You got to respect
At
it.
the very least, you respect it. But Eddie, I don't know if anything else really happened in rugby league that I'm sort of just trying to think.
Look,
just
it
check
wasn't-
the old notes if there was anything that sort
Mate,
of,
people's attention is well and truly fixated on Origin next Wednesday.
Yeah,
And then after that, we get into the season in earnest.
yeah.
The third iteration of the season, the run to September. That's business time rugby league.
Yep.
That's all business there,
And it's
bro.
coming.
And it's coming thick and fast.
Yep.
Shout out to KO. We love KO, Tom and I.
Oh, we're huge KO fans.
We're KO men.
Yep.
That's KO men. That's who we are. Couple of men that love their KO.
Kings of KO.
Couple of men that love their KO.
And they obviously bring you the rugby league.
They bring you rugby league every week. Every single week. Rugby league brought to you by KO. Why? Because they get every single game. All 8 of them.
All of them.
All 8. There's other people that only get 3. And you're like, dude, that's pretty lame.
Well, it's not all of them.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
only
just not all of them.
some radio stations did. They don't get all of them. Only one place gets all of them.
That's KO.
It's KO.
So shout out to KO.
Love you, KO. We do.
So the Biffs, Eddie, the Biffs. The undercard was fucking great. Like but unfortunately the results, well, the card promised greatness, but I would say that you had O'Malley's fight called off. The Robbie Lawler one was good.
It was all right. It was okay.
It was good. Like at least there was a fucking stoppage, and it was those two were brawling. Was that, and then
I think if you looked at the card like holistically and you'd look at it and go, bruh, this is going to be all time.
yeah,
It probably didn't live up to the hype. I don't think it did.
no, it didn't.
And the
But-
reason was it started with our boy Alexander the Great Volkanovski, who was so fucking clinical against Max Holloway.
Dude,
It seemed,
it was incredible.
it was just like you were watching this going, this is a mismatch.
Yeah, that's what, and I don't know if the commentators said it at one point, but they were going like, this would be like the fact that we know Max Holloway and how good he is, and we know like the history of Max Holloway allows witnessing this to be so great. Like if it was just, as we said, like with the Korean Zombie, he looked amazing, Volk. He fucked him up, but it was Korean Zombie, so it was like, okay, like yeah. This was just like beyond what anyone could have expected.
I had a bit of a problem with the commentary, particularly from Daniel Cormier. Like, I know he's mates with Max Holloway, but I'm like, oi, bro, everything coming out of your mouth is about how Max is a warrior and at least Max is in there copping it. Oh, but Volk too good. I'm like, start talking about Volk, bro. Like, stop talking about Max. He's getting fucking beaten near to death in
The
there.
thing that like with Max as well, anytime Max did anything, they were like, ooh. You know, it was all like, oh, Max with a bit of it. It was like, Max.
And then like, oh, Volk with a cut above his arm. Like, that's Max's blood.
Or
Hasn't been hit once.
No. Like, it was... I think their commentary...
Fucking annoyed me.
I think their commentary's been way worse in, like, the previous fights because they're so horny for Max. This one... It was like
they couldn't be that horny, but it was still. But it was so ridiculous.
Well, because they'd been called out on it before. Volk, that's why Volk's presser and shit, I think largely was directed around that sort of stuff and people not giving him the respect he deserves. But like they were definitely better than they had been, but it was still like, okay, dude, can we stop sucking Max off? The thing that's crazy about those fights when obviously you've got skin in the game where it's like you want one person to win. It makes it so much more. So like when he was dominating, and then it got to the 5th round, and it was like he needs to knock him out to win because like Alex has won all rounds clearly.
Yep.
You were just like, oh my god, at any moment your heart can be broken still. But you'd have to say, right? Let's say Max knocked him out in the 5th round. You're still going. I mean, who's the better fighter here? Like, let's be honest.
Let's be honest. But I was a little bit worried about that because obviously you can't help.
You can't help but be worried.
But he just wasn't even close to him.
But once the fight then finishes, you go, wow, he was never even close to fucking anything. He broke his hand in the 2nd round, and you wouldn't have known.
You wouldn't have had a single fucking idea. He was laying it on so thick.
Yeah.
And that cut above his eye was fucking brutal.
Dude,
In between one of the rounds, I'm like,
yeah. No, that was
I almost
disgusting.
threw up. It was foul.
It was disgusting.
It was so wide, and they just smashed the Vaso on there.
Yeah,
and just
which
like,
doesn't really do anything, does it? And then you just get hit
does
once.
something.
It doesn't do nothing, but it doesn't do much, especially when it's that big.
It was fucked up. And then he just didn't seem to be polished at all, Max.
But that has to be.
But every time he tried to go in,
just how good Volk was.
Every
right?
time he tried to go in, he was getting pieced up.
He made Max look Bush League. I tell you what, the Dribblers, obviously, About Even is the sister show of Hello Sport. But I, for my bet on this fight, I had Max round 2 paying $26 he dues, I think, by KO. And obviously I'm a value whore, right? So I'm hunting some value. And if you watch the show, you'll know how badly I'm doing this season after being back-to-back champion in the first 2. And so obviously I'm rocked. But you could not believe the abuse that I got for fucking betting on Max. Again, I want Volk to win, but I'm hedging myself. If I can make some money, then of course I'm going to do that. Volk by decision is paying like fucking $2.
Yeah, but I took it.
Yeah, I know you did, but see, like, you got to chase value. That being said, though, I was so stoked, and the way that he did it was just
flawless.
It couldn't have shut people up more.
It was flawless.
All
3 judges had the fight for 50 to 45. You're like, oh my god,
he was just so quick. And then when he starts talking shit, you're like, oh, he's just feeling himself.
He was pumped up at the end.
Feeling himself.
Oh, yeah, touching himself.
And now there's I don't see anything other than him going up and taking.
Well, he said as much.
No, I know, but sometimes the UFC just tries to go, oh, no, I want you to fight fucking.
There's no one else.
Henry Cejudo was the other one that was like talking to him backstage. Like, Henry, can Henry
Cejudo fuck off, please, and go to bed?
Or come back.
No one cares.
Come back and try fight people if you want, but like, don't think that you're just going to walk off the couch all fucking fat and overweight and go and fight Volk. Like,
you would get destroyed.
But imagine him going up to seeing what he did to Max there. You're like, oh yeah, dude, you could definitely go up and fucking take the
Oliveira.
Yeah.
Who else has he got to fight?
Oh, Islam Makhachev. But remember, Oliveira's technically not the champion anymore, which is bullshit. But because
it's vacant, isn't it?
Yeah. But even Volk said, he goes, I would want to fight Oliveira because he's the fucking champion. If Oliveira loses to the next person, then sure. But
let's do that.
Yeah.
Volk didn't get hit. He could fight again this year.
Well, he's broken his hand. That's the only thing.
That's true. Good point. Might have to wait a little longer. But make that happen. Give him a shot at champ. Imagine if we had a champ.
Dude, the fact that we might have the greatest featherweight of all time.
Crazy.
And he'll be close to if he's not number 1, he should be number 2 on the pound for pound.
And he's not that old.
Well, but he's also not that. He's 33, which is my age, but in like, just so everyone knows. But don't you reckon it's actually crazy to think that he's like the same age as me, but when we met him, I felt like he could have been a dad. You know what I mean? Like, you sort of.
I feel like that around.
I know we say that all the time.
People that are like someone.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Like, if you're like 20, I'm like, you don't feel older than me. But
no. But like, when you're sort of around the same age, I'm like, damn, dude, he's old. He's like an adult.
Crazy that you're the same age.
Yeah, it is.
I'm younger than him.
And both just fucking fly.
I'm younger than him.
He's turning 34 this year, so you are.
Thank God I am younger than him. But that's what I mean. 34, not that young.
No.
And Max, 30 years old. Max been around for a fucking minute though, but still, just it's just interesting that he's not like I don't know where prime is. Surely your prime varies from like fighter to fighter, right? Like in your prime could be in your mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, just depending on where you are in your sort of like
don't you think
career.
Don't you think it'd be around 30s, more wisdom, more winters?
Yeah, certainly. But then you look at someone like
20s is pretty young.
Yeah, definitely it is. But
then you look at Mike Tyson. He
or
was
John
20.
Jones, right? John Jones got the title when he was 20. His prime was obviously fucking for a long time, and he's an outlier. But I just mean that like Max has potentially had his prime, or he's in his prime, but he's sort of like when he was dominant. Now Volk has come over and taken the mantle.
Yeah.
And he's 33, turning 34, older than me.
Crazy. Mate, there would have been such a fucking relief getting that W.
Don't you reckon you felt relieved when the clock stopped? I was like, oh, thank God, that was so good.
I was relieved because I didn't want him to lose because
No.
it would have been...
It would have sucked.
It would have sucked. But now it's just like, that's to bed now. They never fight again.
No, they
It's
never
all
fight
over.
again. They never fight again. And
It's
I
all
think
over.
Holloway was pretty cool. He tweeted out something where he's like, it's still 2-0 in knockdowns across the 3 fights. We need to run it back for a fourth. And he's like, nah, just joking. You're the fucking pound for pound. Go and get the lightweight strap. Like, Max is a legend. Then we go Israel and Jared Cannonier. Now, this fight was a bit of a snooze fest. Now, sure.
He's got a snooze fest in him, Israel.
He does have a snooze fest in him. He just does. And he got a little bit salty, I think, because he was getting booed by the crowd. The reality is he doesn't know anything from the crowd perspective, but the nature of blood sports is that we want blood. It's just the way.
Well, crowds will bay for blood.
And it was just a real, I don't know, it just seemed like a very technical fight. It wasn't sort of brawling.
No, it wasn't. But he can be technical.
He's incredibly technical, but I also want to see him fucking knock people out.
But you just look, like the last couple of fights haven't been like that.
No, they haven't.
They just haven't been.
Now that he's won, the dude who was in the third fight before him, Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland, Pereira is the only person, I think, to knock Israel out. So he knocked him out in kickboxing when they were both kickboxers.
Yes, I've heard about this.
And now he's come over to the UFC, and that's going to be the next fight. He's Brazilian. I don't think they like each other. I would have liked Sean Strickland to win, though, as well, because he talks mad shit. You just see him at the press.
He was talking mad.
He was doing a very good
shit.
job at talking shit to Adesanya. Like, it was funny as fuck. You could tell it rattled him a bit.
It did rattle him a bit. It did. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. I hope
like
he
with
comes
that
back.
henna porn and shit, and he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
explain it. I'm like, this isn't coming off well.
No, don't try and explain it, dude.
Don't try and explain it. Whatever you do.
Yeah, just
Whatever
don't
you do, don't try and explain it, mate.
that you're into hentai, which is fine, but don't try and explain it. And also, he's got like French tip fingernails. He's like, don't break a nail. Just like, again, he's like a hillbilly. They're from two different worlds, and it was great. But Pereira, at least there's a bit of a yarn there for Adesanya.
Correct.
But the fight itself,
Yeah.
meh. But Alexander the Great.
Alexander is great. Look, it was just good. Fire on, UFC on, KFC and Ann. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a day. Seeing an Aussie go from great to like a legend.
Great
in the
to
division.
greatness.
Great to greatness. From great to greatness.
Or to borrow,
We've met him, by the way.
a champion becomes a legend.
We can't believe he's done it.
Yeah. Who's this?
But we've met him, so.
But we've met him. And everyone's like, he shook you. You fucking friends with him. You can't bet him. And they're like, dude, yes, you can. It's the betting game. Did I want him to win? Of course I did. But was I trying to make money? Of course I was.
That's all right. You don't get it. I did. I got it.
Well, I don't think dribblers get it. But, yeah, that's Biffs. Congrats to the Volk. Before we get into the old, we've just been sent this. About John Jones and Bam Bam, is it?
Yep. Is that right, Tobler?
Yeah, so it looks like
Tobler's having a fuck. It got a mouthful of something over there.
just almonds, bro.
Oh, yeah?
He loves almonds,
Yeah,
don't he?
dude, almonds are good. Are you still on your health kick?
I'm trying.
Dude, it's the almonds. When I was losing that weight last year, I had like a thing of almonds and an apple every day, and that was what I'd eat until dinner.
You know what they say about apples, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do, bro.
So yeah, it just looks like they've been going at it, the DMs, and then I think Jones blocked Bam Bam after they were just chatting shit or something, and now Bam Bam's posted the receipts on Instagram.
Okay, well, so what is it? Is that it? Is it just this?
That's all he's put up. That's just a screenshot from the messages.
So Bam Bam's the purple, right?
Yeah.
You sound off your head. I'd out party you too, I reckon, just saying. But yeah, Mary had a little lamb too, and I smoked her. Whatever, brah. When you come back, I'll still be around. You want a warm-up lamb roast, I'll be waiting. Good luck with your beer company. Cheers, I'll send you some. I don't need it. You keep it. Lol, stop writing. Sweet, you stop writing.
Right.
And then John Jones blocked him. And then Bam Bam posts this.
Man, what's up? You know I love you, man. Come on, man. E-Weezy. Come on, baby. E-Weezy. Come on, baby. E-Weezy. Come on,
That's
pound it, baby. You know,
as dribbly as it gets. As he put the post up, he goes, "Be Weezy Bones, you know I love you, man. Add me back." Oos. You know he want dat. Drink West, bam. Okay, yeah, dribbly.
That's pretty dribbly.
That's very dribbly. But sure. Him blocking him's pretty funny. Bit of tennis. Bitter tennis. Now,
Kings into the round of 16, baby.
tonight for a chance to play quarters
Yep. He
against someone I've never fucking heard of. So is that good
the
for him?
person he's playing I've never heard of. Do you know what? I don't think it's great for him.
He actually goes better when they're better.
He goes way better when they're better. This has tantrum written all over it.
Yeah.
This has things aren't going my way, loses to a fucking nobody.
Well, he almost lost to, and no disrespect, Paul Jubb in round one. I think it was a 5-setter. And if King was ever going to lose to anyone, it'd be Paul Jubb in round one.
That's exactly right. He just lifts against the good ones.
But he has been on a fucking press conference rip and tear this Wimbledon. Like every
Fucking
single
oath, yes.
one of them, he's just been grumpy as fuck. And I'm here for it.
I love it. They seem to be, they're just going after him for different things. The great irony in world tennis was John McEnroe made a career of being a salty fucking tantrum throwing hothead, being like, Kyrgios's behaviour is fucking disgraceful. It's like, bro, have you forgotten
Of
your
all the
life?
people. Yeah, of all the people, it's probably not you, John.
Have you forgotten, John, what you used to do? Because he was like barking at the fucking umpire and shit. It's like, John McEnroe, you invented it.
Is Kyrgios worse than McEnroe?
No.
At least John was winning slams.
So what, if you win slams, you're allowed to do it? Is that
No, I'm not saying that. What I mean is Kyrgios more poorly behaved than McEnroe? Obviously, I wasn't around for John, but like Kyrgios is
I don't think he,
is
I don't
an
know if he
angry
is.
fucker.
I don't know if he is.
I love King, right? And obviously, I understand how people don't. Those people choose to get too emotionally invested in his behavior, as I just choose to it makes me care about tennis more.
Yep.
Like, I don't really give a fuck about King or what he does. Live your life, bro. But your
Live it.
behavior, disgraceful as it is, I'm enjoying it. There is an element to King that is, like, sometimes I feel like maybe King doesn't have, he's not necessarily the sharpest tool at times in the proverbial shed. And I mean, no disrespect here other than to say that that's almost it's indisputable. Where, like, he gets asked after the first game against Jubby, I think.
Yep.
And he's like, why do people like come to fucking tennis just to talk shit, right? Like, I don't come to your job and tell you, like, and, you know, when you're checking out fucking chickens at Coles. And then a reporter's like, didn't you call a lineswoman a snitch in this game? Like, isn't that sort of the same thing? He's like, no, it's not the same thing. He's like, but, like, she's at her job. And he's like, well, she went over to the umpire and said I did something, I didn't do it. So it's not the same. And you're like, okay, dude, like, well, we can't. Unfortunately, /fortunately for content, we can't.
I also don't like.
We're at an impasse.
I also don't like that analogy. I don't like it at all because when you're buying a chicken, there isn't stands where they're selling seats for you to fucking like watch the person put the
Check
chicken
out
in
chicken.
a bag.
Yeah, it's great. It's a
and
good
then you
point.
like judge their fucking.
It's not a
the same-
spectator sport.
It's not a spectator sport. It's not the same thing.
No.
They also get fucking $13 an hour, and you get like 13,000 a minute. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's the dumbest analogy of all time, and I hear it rolled out from time to time, and I don't like it because it doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense. But also, he seems to me to be the sort of guy who loves crowd interaction and the yipping and the yahooing and the fucking crowd going crazy. So like the reaction, it's like he only likes reaction from the crowd if it's positive and pro King, as opposed to when you're playing a fucking Englishman in Paul Jubb and the crowd's pro Jubb.
Obviously, he's an Englishman. Shouldn't be hard to work out.
No. Unless you're
Also-
Roger Federer, you're not going to be able to turn a crowd against their countrymen.
And you draw big crowds, but the reality is a lot of people are watching you to watch you lose. Like, surely you've worked that out. You're not you're not adored.
No.
You're liked by some. You're liked by us. We've got your back, bruh. But to imply that you should be getting Federer-like acclaim, whereby no one can say anything, is madness in the extreme.
Yeah, it's crazy. Federer not playing in this tournament, is he?
No.
Federer's
also old as fuck, and I don't really know what's going on. Like, he's got injuries and has had fucking surgeries and
Is
shit.
Nadal playing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, is he coming back or
Is this like a Cam Smith thing where it's like, I'm not going to announce my retirement at a tournament?
it
You're
might
just
be
gonna
it might be a Cam Smith thing. I'm just going to keep you waiting forever.
Yeah. Never announce it.
In terms of like, okay, when's the season start? A day? Well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. But I might not as well.
But I also we might just start the season. I won't say anything.
Don't name me in the team.
Yeah.
And then I will.
Because I don't want to make this, With Roger, I think Roger fully intends of doing a swan song select tournament. See you later.
Yeah. A farewell Fed tour.
Farewell Fed tour, which I'd like.
I'd love it. But so the Kings' recent match against Stefanos Tsitsipas
Number 4 in the world.
of a big old pussy, it sounds like fame. No disrespect.
Well, he was calling him a bully.
Yeah. To me, that's lame as fuck.
Or newsflash for like a lot of like people watching. Most tennis players, if you strip it all back, magoos.
Yeah.
Losers. Now that's
Some, not all, most.
That's just, it is what it is. So I'm not surprised that Stefano would have been homeschooled his whole life isn't up to that.
Yeah. But also, like, to say that King was like
He wasn't
probably a
bullying.
bully at school.
Yeah, but
Firstly, he wasn't bullying you, but secondly, to say that he was probably a bully at school is like, I mean, how old is he? Maybe he's not too far from school. You know what I mean? Maybe like school.
He'd be like young. He'd be like early 20s.
20s.
Tsitsipas or Kyrgios?
Tsitsipas.
He's 23.
Yeah, okay. So
there you go.
He was at home.
Kyrgios is 27, I think.
He's getting on.
He's getting on.
He's getting on.
He's getting on.
He won't win a slam. He's getting on. Now,
Hey,
but Stefano.
But if he wins, right? Oh, you go back.
Well, I'm just saying that Stefano, in his post-match presser, in fairness, didn't watch the match. Haven't seen the highlights. If you can find the highlights of that, I would love to watch them. But like that to me just screams like you lost, you got Kyrgios. You know what I mean? Because when Kyrgios gets you, he gets you from being a little fuckhead. If you'd sat in the press and gone, he's a fuckhead, I think most people go, yeah, that's fair.
But also, someone should have advised you, Stefano, that this is what he does. He tries to get under your skin.
Everyone knows that.
That's what he does. That's
what
his
it's about.
thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. And if that went over your head, or like you just forgot about it, or you weren't advised that way, or if you're sitting in the press conference saying he bullied you, he got you.
Don't say he bullied you. It makes you sound like a pussy.
Yeah,
dude.
it does.
He
It
didn't
does.
bully you.
You know what happened? You got pumped by superior talent.
Yeah.
Who on his day
Can pound anyone.
anyone. Like if he plays like that for the next, like he could go close.
But he won't because he doesn't have the mental
But
fortitude.
he won't because he'll fall over. He'll fall in a heap.
Because what you should have known, Stefano, before you came out and were a big pussy about the whole thing, was that you can get inside his head as well. His head's the easiest head to enter on planet Earth.
His head's the easiest.
The
in
easiest
world
head to
sport.
enter.
In world sport.
Door's always open.
Always. Come in. Come
right on in.
You chose not to because you were too busy.
Worrying about him getting inside your head.
Exactly. Whereas sharp operators know.
Stay calm. Look at Paul Jubb, all fucking 21 years of him. Paul Jubb knew just to keep it cool. I almost beat Kyrgios. Now, he didn't, but obviously Kyrgios better than Jubb.
Now, if Kyrgios wins, I think there's a chance he plays the Demonar in the quarters.
Is Demonor in the quarters?
Well, Demonor's in round of 16. So tonight, I'll take you through tonight because it's a great night. So 8 p.m. is Demonor versus Garin, who from Chile.
That'll be
who
on.
he is. He's not seeded, and Demonor's 19th, so you should get through that.
Demonor's like under the right. It's funny because Demonor's like 19 in the world, fucking legit. But all anyone talks about is Kyrgios.
Well, yeah, because Demonor,
And Bernard Tomic.
not a needle mover, no disrespect, but a good player.
And then Kyrgios at 10:30 against Brendan Nakashima. And then
was earlier.
Kubler at 11:15 against Fritz, who's 11th seed.
Kubler?
Kubler, yeah, the other Australian. And then Tom, I don't know her name, Tom
Tomljanovic.
Yeah,
Isla
she's also
Tomljanovic.
tonight at 10. So all 4 Aussies tonight.
Love
Heck
that.
yeah.
I tell you what's funny is that Bernard Tomic wanted to put $1 million on the line for him versus Kyrgios. It's like, you can't even, you're on the fucking like ITF tour,
Yeah,
dude.
you're on the drive around in your own car
Tour. You're on the you bring your own clothes tour
Yeah.
and your own rackets tour
Yeah,
and you're stringing everything yourself tour. You're on the beta tour, dude.
Yeah.
And Kyrgios just beat Tsitsipas 4 in the world. Like, in what world do you think that you're a sniff?
Well, you're not. Come on the podcast, sir.
He lost in the first round of Australian Open qualifying. Got pumped straight sets.
After doing one of the great PR jobs to get us all horny for it, the comeback, and then it was like, oh no, that was bullshit.
I loved the comeback so
Yeah,
much.
it was great.
And
Him on the
then-
fucking treadmill and shit.
Oh,
and boxing.
dude, it was special.
Dude.
With that music and shit, I'm like, you are.
And his voiceover though.
Oh, bruh. That's
I'm
what-
coming back. I love tennis.
Yeah.
I'm going to be great.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Nothing can stop me now
Yeah.
except myself.
Okay, good. I'm here for it. Yeah, and you lost. Great.
Yeah, and then you got COVID, so that stopped you.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if in his video, like, except myself or COVID.
Yeah. Or
Just
COVID.
to cover your base.
Well, it's smart to cover your
or a
base.
car accident.
Car
Or-
accident, COVID, or cataclysmic event, maybe asteroids. Now, the king,
Good luck to you.
good luck to you, dude. Here to support you in whatever way you need. If you need your racket strung, look, I'm not in London, but I can have someone do that for you. Bracey's over there. Maybe we get Bracey to string King's rackets.
What, get Bracey down to Wimbledon?
Yeah. Get him down there into the sheds. Give him a massage. Work the legs.
Bracey could string.
Well, he could. Bracey's one of those people where it's like, I think he could work that shit out pretty quick.
Well, he's a stringman.
Well, he's someone that can overcome adversity from a like, how does this work?
Yep. Well, he's a smart guy.
Yeah. Well, he's smart. I tell you what, the good life has probably robbed him of a few skills that, you know, us normal folk have.
But that's also a good point. So, like, he probably couldn't do it himself, but he'd get
He'd know how to get someone to do it.
Because
And
that's
so-
like the actor thing.
And that's
right?
what we're doing, right? But that's only because we're not there. If we were there, we'd be stringing them ourselves, but we're
Oh, yeah,
not.
we can string.
So we get Bracey to do it, which means he'll get someone else to do it for him.
Exactly. He'll get a stringer to do
Yeah.
it.
Like-
Curious probably has.
Like, you know what? Ask Bracey if he knows how to like transfer money from like a fucking banking app. I bet you he can't do it.
There's no way.
No. Ask him if like, you know, the electricity went out in your house. Like, would he even know where to look? Probably not. He would have before he, you know, started getting his fucking,
Too famous.
yeah. But now he'd be like, what?
Yeah. He's living that thespian
He's
life.
living the thespian life, dude. He wouldn't know necessarily like how to fill up a car with petrol and shit.
No.
That probably, again, used to.
No, he.
The Bracey with
he
you
knows
growing
how,
up-
He knows how to pay for it.
He certainly knows how to pay for the petrol.
Yeah, but he can't pump it.
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Do you reckon he's a eggs in the microwave type operator now?
Well, no, I don't even think he'd touch the eggs. They just get put on in front of him.
No, they just get handed to you.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Cooked. And like with the perfect portion size so that you keep a 6-pack year round.
Yep. Perfect. Shout out to Brace.
That little drive-by. He's just gone there for no reason. Oh, fuck.
Should we dribble?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else, is there?
Wallabies won.
Oh, shout out to the Waller boys.
Yeah, the Wallaby.
Bruh, we got a fucking red card like early on in that game and we still won it.
Get rid of red cards. Get rid of them.
The guy did headbutt the other player.
Yeah, but you know what I want.
Tell you what, I mean,
It's
when
test match rugby.
well, but also you think about like Baz Lanker of Western Bulldogs, AFL fame, headbutted that guy when we were watching the game and he stays on the field. Only
you go.
3 weeks suspension, I'm pretty sure, did Baz Lanker get.
There you go. There you go.
Now back to the Wallabies,
get-
Tom Banks broke the fuck out of his arm. It was disgusting to see. That made me feel sick. I'll be honest. Can I be honest with everyone? We were back at your place when the game was on and I made a big song and a dance about getting the internet working so that we could watch the game,
No, we both did.
but I didn't see any.
We made a big song and dance. Huge. And I'm like, where's the game? Where's the game? And then we realised that we were early for the game.
Way early.
Really early for the game. Put it on. It was running. It was humming. Guess what? Ripping and tearing got in the way.
Sometimes it does, dude. Didn't see a thing. Didn't see a lick of it.
You know how it goes. You know the vibe.
But I'm happy for the boys to get up for the nation.
Loved it.
A man down the whole game. Fuck the Poms.
Fuck the Poms. Poms are weak.
Yep.
They don't get it.
Shout out to Benny Porter's brother who also debuted for him.
He did.
The Poms, not
Very
not Australia.
impressive. Well, exactly. Well, he's got a Pom in him.
Yeah.
He's got Pom in him. It does draw into question Ben and where he sits because he loves his Test match cricket. But he always did a good job of convincing me that his heart laid with the Aussies. But now I'm not sure.
Listen, we know that.
Does this spark?
I think from a familial perspective,
Does this spark old world feelings?
I think that he can justifiably barrack for the Poms if his brother's playing. Let's say his brother's dropped from the side altogether.
But does this spark an old flame?
Right, as in like, because he
lives
grew
within?
up in England, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came when he was like 8 or 10 or something.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an accent still. Yeah, look, it wouldn't surprise me if Ben's always been a bit of a clandestine Pom.
Yeah.
You know, a Pom in Aussie clothing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I love fucking the Aussies in Test cricket, but secretly he's fucking jerking off to photos of Freddie Flintoff and shit.
Yeah,
right?
Like, I've never heard it, but I've always wondered, like, I'm waiting for him to give out a
yeah,
when Root scores a ton or something. You know what I mean?
Luckily, he doesn't score him in Australia, so we've never had to.
So we've never had
So
to.
Benny's lucky.
Well, he hasn't given himself up.
Yeah, because Root hasn't scored a ton. in
And
Australia.
when they're down here, they get fucking pumped.
So there's no opportunity
So there's
to
no,
explode. Yeah.
But
Whereas he's hearing you climax all the
often.
time.
Every test.
Non-stop.
Yeah. Multiples.
Yeah, multiple gazzies. Anyway, congrats to the Waller boys. All right, let's dribble. Let's pound some dribble.
Hey boys, just a proud and a very erect New South Wales Blues supporter this lovely Monday afternoon. But I don't know if you boys noticed something that I noticed whenever I watch the Blues, or in fact a Roosters game with Teddy Tedesco, and that is that I think we need to start a GoFundMe to maybe get him a longer shirt, because it always seems to be riding up just shy of his titty line. Is it just me, or does anybody else notice that his shirts or his jerseys aren't long enough? Ciao.
I have noticed that before, yeah. I think that what you're seeing, young dribbler, is a captain of his state who's prepared to go tight and short to give himself the 0.1% advantage.
Yeah, less shirt to grab.
That's right. That's all it is.
And that's ultimately what it's about. It's not about showing off that sexy bottom, that fucking big, fat, thick caboose he's got. Which
He's
is all
all caboose.
positives. He's all caboose, dude. He's caboosed up, and it's good, right? It's a good thing to see. But
Mr. Caboose.
Mr. Caboose, the reason behind it, though, young dribbler, is the 1%ers. Less T-shirt means less chance to grab him.
Yep.
More caboose on display is merely a byproduct, but a great one.
I can't be certain, but I think that he may have been inspired by a young 17-year-old Ian Thorpe who used to have to get cut out of his swimsuits. He goes,
Yep.
I don't employ that.
Yep.
Cut me out of this shirt, baby. I want it fucking tight as tight will get.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm not like asphyxiating, I want it basically is like whatever the squeeze strength of an anaconda is, I want that as my shirt. Maybe stronger. Tonka breathing sounded like a saw. She thought someone was sawing through wood.
Does sound a bit like that. Shout out to that young dribbler. Shout out to Tonk, who's hanging in there.
Hey boys, it's Jorge all day here. It's been a minute. Hope you're both well. Whilst we're on the topic of fleshlights, me and the boys got Prince Dribbler of King Dribbler's younger brother fame a fleshlight for his 21st birthday a while back. We ordered the exact replica of Lisa Ann's butthole because naturally we thought he'd enjoy that. Now, if you both know KD and PD, which you do, you know how horny the both of them are and how domestically inept they both are. So it actually didn't come as a shock to me that I heard that PD used to clean the fleshlight in their family dishwasher. Now, I'm 95% certain that story's true. Please confirm, KD or PD. Lisa Ann, reach out. Be soon.
That's fucked up.
That's not surprising. It's just not.
It's not surprising.
It's just not surprising. It's just not surprising.
It's also not surprising that he gleefully used it. You know what I mean? Being gifted it is one thing, and then putting it to work is...
Well, that's one thing as well, but, you know, throwing it in the dishwasher next to the pots and the pans and the fucking...
Knives and the forks.
Knives and the forks and the, you know, the cups and the mugs and the plates. That's a big day. That's a big day. I hope you didn't get Mum to unpack it.
Oh, dude. Fucking hell. Anyway, yep, shout out. Shout out. Like, good to hear Jorge's voice again. Obviously, the phone he was calling off was from the 80s, but that's all right.
We don't mind that. It was a good dribble.
It was a good dribble.
Not surprising, let me put it that way.
No. Can we reiterate that? Not surprising.
Tom, Eddie, Dio Dave, Tobler, it's the physio dribbler here, in cahoots with the 5-hat dribbler, whom is also running the marathon in September. He ran 12 kilometres over the weekend and woke up Monday morning unable to move with bilateral knee pain. Lads, I'm here to pass on some advice that I kindly delivered to my darling partner just days prior. Tom, after your dramatic increase in load over the weekend, it appears we may need to settle everything back down. Your body is loading up to your knees due to a lack of stability elsewhere, probably your core and glutes.
How dare you?
Hence why the lower back isn't too happy either. Eddie, same applies to you. However, you may have some issues that are stemming from the feet causing your lower back discomfort. So to the both of you and my 5-hat dribbler, get into your work on the foam roller, calves, quads, glutes and lats. Glute bridges and dead bugs are your friends. Boss is also your friend, just avoid the lower back region. Glute bridges forever, bad knees never. Reach out if you need. Cheers, lads.
Love that from the physio dribbler. Love that. I will say this to allay some of your concerns. Josh of Bronte Bluey's fame is pounding fucking glutes and those dead bugs. He's got us doing all of the things that you just recommended.
We have been spending a lot of time on the glutes and the hip flexors.
Foam rolling.
I did some foam rolling in the studio last week, which helped. My back, I am pleased to report, is in good nick at the current
It's responding
time.
well.
It's responding well to treatment.
Yeah.
It's responding well to treatment. I always theorized that my back issues were a tightness issue, a glute, a maximus, and a hip flexor issue. That were my theories. Good to see that that's been proven correct. There's too much tightness in my body.
Yeah, there is, dude. You're way too tight. I tell you, one of the great experiences that a man can have, or woman actually, is to go to training with Josh at Bronte Bluey's and to watch Eddie try and stretch. The man is as tight as it fucking gets. Like,
but you're
too
not
flexible.
You're very flexible.
He said I'm too flexible to the point where I'll like injure myself because I'm too flexible, whereas you are too tight.
Way too tight.
So we're just a yin and a yang here. I can basically bend over and eat my own ass.
Like I was doing a side.
You can barely fucking touch your toes. You can't touch your toes, can you? Could you put your foot out and touch them now?
No.
Just try. Ooh. Hey, you bent your knee a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see what Daddy.
I can get there. I can't hold it.
Bro.
Oh,
Look at that.
that's impressive.
Straighten your leg, you weak dog. Anyway, sorry to show off like that to everyone.
You are fucking flexible, bro. But when I was doing side planks, he was like, you know, you're supposed to be parallel if you're watching on YouTube. And I was just like kinking out.
Yeah.
And he was trying to bring me in and it was just kink out.
Yeah.
Bring me in, kink out. He's like, your hip flexors are too tight. Like, they don't allow
They don't allow you to just be straight.
to be straight. Straightness eludes me. Straightness has eluded me most of my adult life.
Yeah, it would seem that way.
But I'm here to tell you that straightness is coming back.
Coming back.
Shout out to Tom and I.
Shout
Went
out
the big
to us.
lift on Friday.
Shout out to the 5-hat dribbler who obviously not up to it because I ran 12Ks and I'm basically good to go again.
I did
so,
15.2.
Yeah, and the only reason he did that was because I did 12.5 and he felt threatened.
Yep. True story.
No, but that is a true story though.
No, it is a true
100%
story.
true, 'cause
I
you're
told
like,
you that.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck's this guy doing here? He's coming for me.
I told you that on Friday.
No,
I'm like, that's why I ran further, because you ran that far.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to 12 and I'm like, push.
Yeah, you can't let me.
It's time to push.
Had to push. Lift.
It was time to push, and I pushed.
Yeah.
Pushed long and true.
Let's go.
Tom, Eddie, Deal. A couple of weeks ago, I was out at a bar after work having a few drinks and just mind my own business, lining up to get a beer, and this random guy beside me who I'd never met before in my life just turns to me in the line as we're getting our beer, and he turns to me and says, "You're a dribbler, aren't you?" And I was just like, "Holy fuck, how do you know that?" And he goes, "I can see it in your eyes." And I was just like, holy shit, because you got to realise I was out at the pub, didn't have any merch, and wasn't talking any hello sport rhetoric at all whatsoever. I was just minding my own business, and this bloke just looks into my eyes and can see that I'm a dribbler. So, shout out to that dribbler who can clearly look at people and pick whether they're dribblers or not. Anyway, see you soon.
That's impressive.
That's fucking impressive, bro.
It is safe to assume, though, at some point that everyone's a dribbler.
Look, 50% of the population thereabouts are, just based on current downloads.
Yeah,
so,
just on that, like just downloads alone, 50% of the population.
So, I mean, it's probably a good guess, but he's got the guess right.
Yeah, you still got to get it right.
He's still got to get it right, and he has, and that's impressive.
That's impressive. Shout out to the fucking mentalist dribbler who can pick dribblers. Psychic dribbler? I don't know.
And shout out to Simon Baker, but I want to make a point. Where'd your accent work?
Simon Baker of the Mentalist actor fame.
Yeah.
Who now has an American accent.
Yeah, I've forgotten where he's from.
Well, that's like the Kid Leroy as well, where you're like, dude, what the fuck's going on?
You know what's annoying?
You've been in America for like a week.
Kid Leroy has literally been in America for like 9 months, and he's now got an accent. I'm like, that's not impressive, Kid Leroy.
No, Kid Leroy, come on, sort it out. And this isn't a shot at him, but it is, unfortunately. But I think if you go to another country and have an accent real quick, it's almost like you're really impressionable. You know what I mean? And like it's like you want to be like the people you're around heaps. It's like, just relax, dude.
Woo up.
Woo up. You're not American. You've been there for 3 weeks. Don't come back from a fucking gap year with an English accent or an American accent or a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, my sister was in America for 6 years, and it was like she would sometimes say can't, like can't. And I'd be like, hey, but that was it.
Hey.
Fuck Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Hey.
Mate, there's like British people here that you meet. They've been here for 30 years. Don't sound Aussie at all.
Bro, they're as English as fuck.
Yeah.
That's someone who's, not trying to please the crowd.
So, Kid Leroy, bruh.
And Simon Baker.
And, particularly
mainly Simon Baker.
Because
he's older.
This was mainly about Simon Baker.
But Kid Leroy obviously was a drive-by, but like you are also under the microscope for that as well.
That's right. On we go.
Tuck and dribbler back. One more thing. Volkanovski walking into some press with a New South Wales backpack on. And then, Tom, you turn around and fucking do this? How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? How dare you?
Look, I understand your emotion.
That was catty.
Yeah, he was angry.
I liked it though.
Oh, no, I liked it, dude.
People have it's really ruffled feathers.
That's fine, dude. I tell you what it is though, because like you see someone like Michael Pride, who's like a pig weekly when it comes to his sort of selections. I think that some of these dribblers just see me as like a beacon of hope and of like good, honest, fucking like something to look up to. And then when I do something like this, look, I get it. I get why that may have broken your heart a little bit, but ultimately, in the about even betting game, it's about units.
Yeah.
And so I was chasing units on about even.
You know, it's a bit like
I'm Team Volk.
But the what's let you down?
Was it the bet didn't get up?
What's let you down is you keep going, I was chasing units, but like you lost units, I made them because I'm like, well, Volk's going to win by decision, which he did.
Yeah.
Which allowed me to still love my country, love a fighter who we consider a friend, but also get units. Whereas you turned your back on your country and lost units.
Yeah. But you know what? That's probably what I deserved.
Yep.
But that's what it was about.
Yes.
Make no mistake. It was in the hunt for units. Maybe they were were they honourable units? No.
No, they were grubby units.
They were grubby units, but it was in the pursuit of units, not in,
They were uncouth units.
They were uncouth, grubby, lacking honour units. But I was still going for Volk for all of the fight except for round 2. But anyway, I appreciate that, dribbler.
Boys, battle Baron dribbler here again.
Well said, buddy.
Got a little story about being Narbrad. One of the boys at schoolies in about 2004 got a whisper that his missus was cheating on him with some bloke, so he got the Dutch carriage up and went around to his hotel only to knock on the door, and the Dubbo Dynamite Dan Con opened the door. Anyway, my man just basically shot himself and thanked him for his time, and off he went back to his hotel. Tail between his legs. Anyway, catch you later, boys.
If your misso is cheating on you with Dan Con of former Gold Coast Titans and maybe even Bulldogs Rugby League player fame, then also reality star fame, now just a jacked fucking F45 gym guy, I think.
So he went around there, knocked on the door, Dan Con answers.
Also hot as shit.
And he goes, oh, okay.
Apparently can throw them. Not that's important, but it kind of is.
Well, in that context,
it's
it
very
is.
important.
That's all
and
context.
Also
man.
apparently has a hog of consequence. So this is just...
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. Like that couldn't be a worse situation.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hogged up as well.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
So he answers the door and goes,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
But your misso, like...
Do you reckon he answered it with the hog on show?
I wouldn't be surprised if the hog answered the door.
Dan's still in bed.
Dan's still in bed with the misso.
Yeah, I'll get
And the
this.
hog's going, what do you want?
I'll get this.
This poor bastard's having a fucking confrontation with a penis.
Not just any penis.
No, Dan Con's penis.
Dan Con's penis, yeah.
Probably tatted up as well, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Barbed wire around the fucking shaft.
Well, from the head down.
Yeah.
From the head down.
Yeah.
I've never seen a tattooed knob.
I have.
Have you?
Walking down La Ramblas in Barcelona, and this dude he walks up and down fully butt naked, but I don't know if he has undies tattooed on his whole body or whether it's an elephant's head. I think it's undies. But he has like the fucking biggest floppy old dong I've ever seen. But the thing is, he's a white guy or a tan Spaniard, and the hog tattooed black. And the thing, I guess it's play on because it's tattooed. It's technically undies. I don't know, but no one seems to care. He just went up and down. I'm like, this thing is fucking humongous. Beautiful almost.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Wow. There's also reviews on TripAdvisor.
I don't know why
about
it's
him.
hard there. That's also, I mean, that has to be him, right? It couldn't be just remembering someone different.
Has to be. He's got reviews on TripAdvisor. 121 reviews.
Because his fucking, why is his hog hard there though? I don't remember it. Or is that just what an old dick looks like?
Well, there's lots of beautiful people in Barcelona. Maybe he's just having a good time.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, right?
It's
like
not.
if you're just going to get around nude, I'd prefer you're not hard. I don't remember him being hard, put it that way. That could be also as a photo's taken, the thing's just bouncing.
that looks like it's swung up.
That could just be on the
The
up.
I think that's just bounced up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
His leg is bent, like he is walking.
Nah, I think that's on the up.
Yeah, it could just be on the up. That's a gravity thing.
Well, momentum.
Momentum. That's a inertia.
Inertia, yeah.
That's an inertia thing. That's not.
It's an inertia based.
Well, because the foreskin's also not back.
No, it's just a penis in
It's
motion.
just a penis in motion. So that's great. That's great. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? How many more of these, David?
2.
Beautiful.
Close.
The following program is rated L for licks. Parental guidance is recommended for Sir D or Dave. The Storms suck. Hey.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
You could say that after 73 minutes of the game, but you couldn't say it any longer than that.
Well, you could actually because
We could be lost.
Well, we lost, but we didn't suck for the last 5 minutes.
No,
We sucked pretty
That's
bad
not what licks
for
about.
7 minutes.
No.
That's not what licks are about. Licks are about taking your licks.
Yeah. No, you did suck for the entirety of the game.
You're not good at taking licks, are you?
No, he's not.
I'm not used to it as a person who supports a team that wins all the time.
Well, your Origin side sucks.
Well, we also win all the time.
No,
so.
you don't.
You've lost 3 of the 4 series.
Well, we've lost like 13 out of the. I mean, we've won.
And you were like fucking in Croatia when the 8 straight was happening, so you didn't even fucking
You weren't even
understand what
alive.
was going on. That's it. We're done, baby. We're done.
We're done.
We're done, punters, dribblers. All systems go this week. Same old. Bloke on Wednesday, about even on Wednesday. Another potty on Thursday with Jarch and Lou talking about their new podcast, which is coming out very soon. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?